Wait, you didn't start yet?
No, I was too busy worrying that my headset and my mic wasn't working. Uh, Al, I believe other way around.
Yep, I just sent you a message saying that.
Yep. Yes, you did. Real quick side note: I was on Facebook the other day, and apparently, my aunt is not smart because she shared those stupid, posts of like this if blah blah blah, and she says, and the whole thing is like, I bet like only 2% of people will like this supporting Vietnam veterans. Like, will you be part of that 2% or some stupid thing like that? And then it was a picture of the cast from what was that movie where
Apocalypse Now.
no, the comedy where the guy goes full retard.
Oh, Tropic
Oh,
Thunder.
Tropic Thunder.
Thunder. It was a cast photo of Tropic Thunder.
Jesus.
Somebody commented, it was like, that's from a movie, right?
I think one of Kelly's relatives did that too, like a couple
Really?
weeks ago. It's like, oh no, you know what? Her dad did.
Oh.
I was like, oh, dude, ridiculous.
Hilarious. All right, let's see. I have my outline. I have the quatrains. I have my shit on the orbs. I don't think I'll need anything else right now.
So I think I finally pinned down Stefan from Dwarven Forge to come on the podcast.
No fucking way.
Yep.
Badass.
We've been going back and forth for a little while now. Pain in my ass. He's a goofy dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm gonna need a tech help because I'm very computer illiterate. Okay, you just have to click on the link. Like,
Right.
I don't know what to tell you.
You should just get his home phone number and you can
He
talk
gave me
him
his
through
cell
it.
phone number.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Jesus.
He gave me a cell phone number like 2 months ago. Like I was trying to get him on when they were doing their last Kickstarter.
Yeah.
They had hit a bunch of conventions. They released a movie, I guess based on his life story, called The Dwarven Knot. So they were promoting that all over the place. So he was away when I first reached out to him, and then he just like instantly like direct messaged me back on Twitter, like, well, here's my cell number, and I'll be back on this day or whatever. Oh, okay. So
Wow.
we were exchanging emails, which he wasn't getting, and then I tried calling him, and his mailbox was full. I'm like, what the how much? You made $7 million on Kickstarter? Like, what?
Oh, God.
Fucking people.
I use my cell phone so little as a phone that so whenever I have to give my cell phone out for something, um, I just switch the numbers around, and sometimes I accidentally give that out as my real cell phone number when I mean to, because that's how little I use my actual number.
Yeah. Well, we don't. I have a phone in the house so I can get a hold of Emily from work, but I don't use that at all.
No, we ended up getting rid of ours because the only thing that we got were telemarketer calls.
Well, that's kind of what it is, yeah. Or
Yeah.
people looking for my ex.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I actually pay for a landline, but I don't even have a phone in the house to hook it up to.
Yeah. We were paying for them when we had like the triple play package.
Yeah, that's what we have because it was cheaper than just internet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
they
now
fuck you.
now we're down to just internet, and we're actually saving like 50 something bucks a month or something like that. But because we were like 3 years into our contract. You know how they hike the price up every year on you.
Then you got to call and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna dump it," and they're like, "No, we can
Right.
give it to you for this price."
Yeah, I didn't feel like doing that anymore. Although when I did go to Just Internet, they sent me a fancy new router. That was nice. I called the dude and I called him up and I was like, I just want to make sure that like I'm not going to get charged extra for this. Like if this is a mistake, I'm sending it back. He's like, no. He's like, oh, apparently they just sent it to you because you know they feel like you're a valued customer. Blah blah blah. Hand up my ass. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Drove a bit, Dev. You were suspiciously quiet. Are you still awake?
What? What's going on? Where am I? Who are you people?
How has work been? Have you had to 10-finger anybody over into a ceiling lately?
No, not in the last few days at least. Oh, Jesus Christ! I still can't believe that.
No, at least it wasn't the other way around.
Fingering them out of the building, or?
Well, no, somebody having to 10-finger you into a building.
That's true. Yeah, for those of you who haven't heard the story yet, the IT guy at IKEA basically was a freaking moron and broke the entire store.
It was the IT dude?
Oh, yeah, it was the actual guy we just hired like a couple months ago to be the new IT guy.
Jesus.
Yeah. He had a tech out with him, and they were supposed to like do like cable management and like reorganizing the server room that we have on site. And the order was for the first 6 panels because everything was documented and like organized and labeled and everything. Well, they decided it was a smart idea to do the same thing to the 7th panel that had absolutely nothing labeled and nothing documented, and the friggin' the card access system, the fingerprint scanners, the cash registers, the phones, the internet, the Wi-Fi, everything in the building went down.
Jesus.
Yeah, so we weren't too happy. Plus, on top of it, he went home after like we all came in because it was a part of an overnight thing. So like we're sitting there scrambling, trying to get everything fixed up, and he was like, "All right, guys, I'm going home." And we're like, "What the fuck are you talking about? You're going home?"
It's your job.
Yeah, like this is your job, and you're the one that caused this issue in the first place. Like I swear to God, if you are able to come back on another day and still work here, I'm gonna be pissed.
That's hilarious. All right. Oh, so I have now played World of Warcraft for about 2 hours.
I thought you said you were uninstalling it.
Well, no. So I played it for about an hour yesterday, kind of. Like I was literally just looking at all the shit that they changed. And then I played for about an hour today trying to set up my UI again. It's not good, guys. It's not good.
Is it actually managing to suck you back in?
I don't know. I haven't actually played yet, so I don't know. Literally, I downloaded Curse.
Oh Jesus!
I downloaded about 15 different mods. And I have my minimal UI back, but now I have to redo all my action bars. Yeah.
You guys and your crazy user interfaces.
Luckily, I'm poor and there's only 5 days left on my 7-day trial. So,
Like an abusive wife.
right. And while I logged in, and within like 2 minutes, I got a message from Jess.
Wow, wait, she still plays?
Her and Herbie were playing.
Holy shit.
Yes.
They're
they
on constantly.
And
Did they stop at all? Did they take a break?
I don't think so.
Wow, I give them credit for freaking sticking with it that long then.
Although what's hilarious is that Almax is still 4th for achievement points, and Cliche is 6th.
Yeah, it's because they never added anyone else into the guild. The two of them just leveled everything by themselves.
Yeah. I will say though, I don't like the system, so that might keep me away again. I looked and I had so little to choose from and so little customization in my character. I was like, I miss my trees. All right. All right. I think I have everything that I need. Where am I in my notes? All right. I have my notes. I have where we are right now. I have a couple other little things. I have Facebook just in case you guys fuck up anymore. And all right. Anyone else have anything that they need to get done first?
I already finished with your
Before-
mom, so I'm good to go.
That's good. Would that take you 2 minutes?
Yeah, just about.
Is that why you were muted?
It was, but hey, I'm all set now.
Yeah.
Gave her some change for a cab, and she's on her way.
Nice. She's never been very high tech. I'm surprised she doesn't Lyft or Uber. Although I think you need a credit card for that.
You do actually, yes.
So I don't think she has a good enough credit score.
Wait a minute, your mom accepts credit cards now?
Yeah, why do you think there's the slot in the back for?
That just opens up worlds of possibilities. I just paid off on my
Dude,
credit
why
card
are you gonna
debt.
charge
Can't-
like $6? That's just
Now you know why I had so much credit card debt that I had to pay
Stop.
off.
right. Stop at the ATM, take out 20.
Yeah, but they charge
That's
me
three
like
rounds
$3
right there.
to take out money.
True. I got hit up with I went to the barber a couple of weeks ago, and they only take cash, and so I had to hit up the ATM across the street. I got charged $4 fucking for taking money out of the ATM.
Wow. I thought like
Well-
3 used to be bad enough.
Dude, the midget's gotta eat.
I tell you what, though, he counts really fucking fast.
He does. That he does.
All right. In that case, let's go ahead and do some shit. So what the hell happened last time?
We picked a fight with a dragon.
You did. That's right.
Another one.
To be fair, the first one was just a triggered trap.
You know what? It still screamed dragon to me, so literally it screamed.
did. Yeah.
Yes. So
Well, to be fair, this last dragon, we threatened to steal his eye.
You did.
So,
Well, I think we asked first, didn't we?
You did ask first, yes.
I don't know, I couldn't understand the language they were speaking.
That is true. All of a sudden, it did just attack you guys for what you believe is absolutely no reason. Although
no.
Marm was talking to it, so
Yeah, that was the reason.
Was. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody be giving me wrong information. Oh god, what did I just say?
Keep it in game. Don't yell at Bessie, yell at Leo.
Listen, Leo gets yelled at quite enough. Just not by you guys.
He's very not
Defecating,
defecating.
yes.
Defecating.
Deprecating.
Well, I do have a skill. I do have an ability called Sniper Shot, so
Oh,
I like self-defecating better. I like that. Oh, I
Could be
mean, honestly, who else are you gonna defecate though?
could it be self-deflagrating? Maybe like set himself on fire.
Oh, there you go. You can set yourself on fire while talking poorly about yourself and shitting your pants.
So it's Tuesday for Leo at this point.
Yeah, basically.
Did he shoot a kid too?
Dude, if you... too many kids. Too many.
So he's just reading the back. Whoa.
Ooh.
Oops, sorry about that.
Was that Casey or Jamie?
That was me. The babies stay in their crib now, even if they cry.
How's that working out?
Actually, really awesome.
Is it?
They might wake up for about 10 or 15 seconds during the night in random spurts, but for the most part, they're down at 6:30 and up at around 5:15. So, nice 11 hours where I have
Wish
no
I could do
idea
that.
what my life.
They sleep better than my dog now. I'm very jealous.
It's okay. I'm sure when they hit 7 years old, they'll revert.
Yeah. I think he's actually asleep on my bed right now. I can't see him
There
though.
you go.
Yeah.
All right. So basically, last time you guys went to Ixen Merrick, talked to the All Watcher, picked a fight with a dragon, and right now I think Dorian finally talked him down, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Dorian talked him down, and he basically said, like, if you can cure my blindness, then I will give you one of my eyes if that is what you really need.
But is it?
So he let you go because Dorian said that he needed some time to rest and prepare to be able to do that. So basically the door opened up again. He kind of skulked away back to his corner where he was when you guys first entered, and you exited the dragon's lair back into the main forum area. So at this point, you guys are just exiting the dragon's nest and kind of not necessarily licking your wounds because he actually didn't injure you guys too badly for a dragon. You got some bumps and bruises and scrapes and cuts and frostbite here and there, but for the most part, he was either rusty or took it easy on you guys. So you exit the dragon's lair back to the forum, where there are still a handful of kobolds kind of sitting around, all facing one direction, praying on their knees quietly. And the All Watcher is there as well, just kind of leading them in a silent, meditative prayer with his staff. He's sitting there in meditative state with his staff across his lap.
All right, so, well, I gotta see how long that spell lasts for now.
Dorian, how? So the dragon's gonna just give you the eye?
Provided I can cure his blindness, then yeah, that's what he said.
Can you do that?
I've never tried, but I believe I can.
I mean, I know you've healed us plenty of times, but none of us have ever been, blind or, anything weird.
True, but in my first life, my teacher did all kinds of incredible healing. Grew back limbs, reattached them even. Blindness was even something that he was able to cure himself. I never got to that point, unfortunately, but it is possible. So I will prepare tonight and speak with the light and see if it can imbue me with that ability.
Well, that's fair. Is there anything we can do to help, or is this kind of like a one-on-one thing?
Pray if you feel you can.
Okay, I could do that.
Believe me, any help we could get at this point is definitely welcome.
All right.
In the meantime, we hopefully we'll be allowed to stay and rest here. So Dorian's going to make his way over to the All Watcher.
Okay.
Tongues lasts 80 minutes apparently, so I should still have it effective on me.
Sounds good.
Wow, your wife's a lucky woman.
I'm not even married yet. It's amazing, isn't it?
That's how good a spell it is. Your future wife is already like thanking every god.
All right. So, Dorian's going to approach the All Watcher and in Draconic, speak to him. All Watcher, may I have a moment of your time?
And you see that he kind of takes this deep breath. Speak.
The Silver Sun has offered his help, provided I'm able to do a favor for him. But in order to do that, I need a place where I may be able to rest for the night and see him again in the morning. He has invited me back once that is accomplished. May we please be allowed to spend the night here?
And he does another. Yes. If it is the will of his, then we shall give you refuge.
Thank you. It
Just
is.
be careful. I sensed hesitation and anger in the room. I do not wish for you to anger or disrupt Saganma.
Well, unfortunately, there was a bit of a misunderstanding, so I can understand why you would have sensed those things coming from there. That will not happen again. It is now a matter of me helping Zaganma, I believe you said. And if I am able to, then he will help me. If I am not able to, I do not know what his will be. But my intent is not to give him any reason to be angry.
And actually, one quick thing. So he's been given these kind of deep breaths. With this last one, you actually feel a small wave of heat come from him.
Huh.
And he just afterwards says, "It is the will of the Silver Sun that you stay here. However, ultimately, it is my decision whether or not your place is for the betterment or disruption of our society. At this point, I must obey the sun, but tread lightly."
We shall, and I will speak to my companions and inform them that they should do so.
And he'll stand up and wave at a couple of the guards over towards the other entrance, and he gestures over to them and says, "They will escort you to a domicile that you may rest in for the night."
Thank you, Alt Watcher.
And this gives you a little bow before settling back in, and he seems a little less meditative at this point. And now, after that first pulse of heat, at this point, you now feel a very low but very steady dispensing of heat coming from him.
Huh. All right, then. I'm just going to give a little nod, bow, and turn to walk back to everyone else. All right, guys, we get to spend the night, but the All Watch is not very happy with us, and if we do anything to upset him or if we screw up somehow, we're not going to like it. So don't do anything to screw up.
Screw up. Okay.
Well, as long as they don't bother us, I should be fine, right? I mean, they're going to leave us alone.
Well, I have a feeling they'll probably be keeping a very close eye on us, but yeah, they don't seem to have any intention of interfering with what it is we're trying to do. For the most part, their leader is content. Well, not so much content, but he's doing this because it's the will of the Silver Sun. He's, like I said, he's not very happy about it, but because that's what the dragon wants, then that's what he's going to do. So, not exactly the most easy of friendships we have going on here right now.
Well, which one of them is in control? Like, I mean, you would think the dragon, right? I mean, he's could probably just eat everybody here.
Well, I mean, I'm sure he could, but I don't see, there's no reason for him to do that. And as far as who's in control, I mean, the way the All Watcher spoke, it's, the dragon's will that, like, basically tells him what it is he wants to do, but ultimately the All Watcher has to give his permission. So even though this is what the Silver Sun wants, if the All Watcher deems us to be a threat to him, his people, or the dragon himself, then he's going to take care of it.
Okay, I guess as long as we stay out of the way.
That's the plan. Anyone have an issue with that?
No issue, but I do have one question. What was his mood like? Is there any chance we'd be able to get any of our weapons back?
He seemed very frustrated. I don't think we're going to get anything. We can always ask, but why would we need weapons here?
Well, for tomorrow morning, I I feel closer to the Raven Queen when I pray holding the sword she gave me.
Well, I can try to explain that. Maybe you'll at least give your sword back, as that's part of your faith. But as far as actually being fully armed again, that might be asking a bit too much. If you want to walk up to the All Watcher with me, I'll be more than happy to translate for you.
I would actually appreciate that.
All right, but just remember, I warned you.
Warning taken.
All right, so I'm gonna flick my head toward the All Watcher, come with me type gesture.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm gonna follow.
I'll assume that that whatever Leo says, Dorian is translating
Yes.
into the All Watcher and vice versa.
Correct.
Okay, just so we don't have to play that middleman game where I say something and then you say something.
I'm very tempted to mistranslate some things, but no, I'm not going to do it. If I feel like I need to, I'll be more than happy to let you know.
The All Watcher's like, yes, of course he can have his weapons back if it's a sense of his pride and his religion. I'm perfectly okay with that. And you're like, no, sorry, he said no.
That would not surprise me.
And he said you're ugly.
All right, by all means, yes, go for it.
So his name's All Watcher.
That's his title, at least it seems that way, or maybe that's what his name actually translates into.
All
But
right.
yeah,
Translate this. Great All Watcher. You seem to have a lot of respect for religion and gods, and in order for me to fully speak with my goddess, I require the sword that she gave me. You are more than welcome to keep all of my other weapons and items. I just request that sword back for just a few hours in the morning so that I can pray to her, and then I will return it to you. And then give him a little bow. And then it gets translated.
I was muted. Go ahead and give me a diplomacy check.
Bastards. Let's see, I got a 21.
Nice. So yeah, he ponders for a moment and then never actually looks at you or anything. He does acknowledge your presence when you walk up and Dorian introduces you, but so yeah, just still looking forward. He just kind of says, "You may reacquire your weapon at the gate, and if there is any ceremony or such that is attached with your prayer, you may do so in the area, at which point they will take the weapon back under their protection." I hope that is satisfactory to you and your god.
That is fair enough. I will meet them by the front gate in order to retrieve it, and then I will return it before I come back inside.
He gives possibly the subtlest nod that a person could.
And I give him a subtle nod as well, and I turn and walk away. And walk back over to the group.
and I accompany him.
All right, so yeah, do we know what time it is by any chance?
Judging by what time you went into the cave and about how long it's been, it's probably late-ish evening.
All right, if that's the case, um, I'm just gonna head to the main gate then and take care of that, since it's about that time for me to pray anyway.
There you go.
So I'll mosey on, and you guys will see me in a couple hours.
All right. The All Watcher has called over a few guards. One that he speaks to actually does kind of double step it up to Leo and kind of gingerly follows behind him as a escort. Since I highly doubt that Leo actually knows where he's going, especially in the dark. And the other two will kind of gesture for you to follow them, at which point, if you follow, they will begin escorting you to your quarters for the night.
I shall follow.
Hey, Dorian, ask them if they have any food for us. Like, not rats and stuff. Like, they have food?
I'll see, and I'll speak to the two that are escorting us. Would it be possible to be provided with food for the night as well?
We took you in. You are our guests. All Watcher takes care of guests. You will be given food.
Thank you. This is actually very new for all of us. We've never been in the hospitality of kobolds before. What exactly do you guys eat?
We eat meat that we capture. We eat some foliage. We eat berries. We survive off the land. We have scouts that go out, hunters, gatherers. What do you eat?
It all sounds very similar to what you guys do, in all honesty. The one who's going to get his sword now is a hunter. We've all done some food preparation. We gather, we forage. Our society is very similar to yours in that respect.
It is. We have spoken with man. They help us. We help them.
Wow. Times certainly have changed.
I cannot speak the same for our other brothers, but here in the Fire Song, we are, as we have learned, a bit different.
Well, it is a welcome and pleasant change, in my opinion.
It is. The Silver Sun and his mother, while her influence on him is slight, she still gives him the ability to influence us and to allow us this life.
Well, we appreciate everything you've done for us. And I'll turn over to Galen and be like, well, he basically said they eat meat, vegetables, berries, things along those lines. So it seems very similar to what we would enjoy. What kind of meat, though, remains to be seen. So it is very possible it might be rat, but hey, something's better than nothing.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess that's true. I guess as long as it's cooked, right?
We might be on our own on that one. Despite the fact that they gather their food similar to us, that doesn't necessarily mean they cook it the same way.
Damn it. Well, okay. All right, we'll see what happens, I guess.
I guess so. All right, and we'll keep following.
All right, so you're led down a handful of tunnels, and eventually it opens up into a room that you're handed, each one of you, as you stop, a small stone. I believe you were given one when you guys first entered. That he kind of knocked on the wall a few times, and it kind of gave off a nice soft glow.
Mm-hmm.
So he hands each one of you one, and he just says, "Please, if you would just detain from once you close the door, if you can make fire, that's fine. But please keep door shut. Light is not good for us."
Yes, we learned that lesson when we first got here. We will be sure to close the door first.
Thank you. It is appreciated. Your food, your dinner will be here soon. It shall be prepared and brought to you.
Excellent. Thank you.
And he gives you a nice stiff bow. And begins to walk off back to his previous locale.
All right. And I guess we'll head in then.
All right, so going in, it's pretty basic. There's some like bunk beds that are built into the walls, though they're kind of on the smallish size. Galen will fit in one.
Sweet.
But as for the rest of you, it would be a very tight squeeze, and an arm and probably a couple of legs might hang off, unless you're able to kind of really curl up into a ball. But at least it's a floor as well, so you got that going for you, which is nice.
Nice.
And
I was going to say, is the bed clean?
Oh, yeah.
Because I may wind up on the floor.
No, one thing that you have noticed throughout this entire thing is that it is very, you are underground, you're in a tunnel system and everything, but it's not dirty. There's no filth, there's no smell. It's overall pretty clean and actually rather well upkept.
I'll stretch all the hell out then.
And after about 5 or so minutes, there is a knock on the door.
And we'll answer.
All right. I'm guessing you didn't say anything, so I'm guessing you don't have a light going or anything yet.
No, because they're still going to bring. Well, I knew they were going to bring in the food, so I didn't create fire or cast light or anything.
There you go. And so when you hear the knock on the door, you also hear kind of a bunch of stuff hitting the ground.
Huh.
And so when you go to open the door, you see that there's a kobold in front of you, and he's kind of on his knees, and he has a basket that he's picking up like fruits, and it looks like small game birds that have been roasted, and just a various assortment of berries and vegetables that he's picking off the ground and very quickly stuffing back into the basket. And he sees you open the door and he looks up and he goes, sorry, Faro, sorry.
It's all right. Are you okay?
Yes, Faro, good. Hard to knock and hold basket at once.
Um, it's all right. Just here, let me help you. And I'll kneel down and like start helping him pick the stuff up.
Faro, thank human warrior.
Well, Dorian, thank Faro for bringing us the food.
And so you, you finish him setting up the rest of it, and he's like, Marnaka, tell Faro to bring food to humans. So, here, food.
Well, thank you again. Is there anything you need, or?
No, Faro, go back to doing job.
What is your job?
Oh, right now, Faro sweep out some of the forges.
Oh,
Faro one day hope to make it to be guard and soldier, protect the Silver Sun. Right now, though, Faro not do that.
huh. I didn't realize you guys had a forge.
Oh yes. Fire Song have greatest forge.
Well, keep at it. Hope maybe you will become a protector of the Silver Sun someday. I think we should be all set, though. I'm going to go back inside. If you need us for anything, you know where to find us.
Thank you, Dorian. Faro pleased that you are happy. May Silver Sun watch your back.
And may the light be with you always. Except not in your eyes, because I know you. You know what? Just have a good night.
You too.
All right, and I'm gonna close the door and kind of say to myself, but out loud as well, like loud enough for everyone to hear. Huh? They have a forge. And I'm gonna hold my hand out over the basket of food and cast Purify Food and Drink, just to make sure like nothing is wrong with it and nothing got on it when it fell and hit the ground or anything.
Nice.
And at that point, I guess I'll cast light on the basket itself. So now we can have real illumination in the room.
I'm not ready for it. I'm just kind of like lounging on the bed, so when a light pops up, I'm like, jeez, man, warn somebody when you're gonna do that.
I'm sorry. I thought you knew what was coming. We said we were gonna wait until after they were done and the door was closed, and but I'm sorry.
No, I wasn't ready. That's all. Ooh, man, it's so dark in here.
Yeah, well, not anymore. Well, I got the food too, so.
He rubs his hands together, and then he rubs his eyes, and he hops down off the bed like a little kid. Scuttles over to where the basket is.
Start portioning them out. Making sure I leave a portion for Leo.
Wow, that's very nice of you.
Like, ooh, it doesn't look like rat. That's good.
What exactly do we have here?
You have a few game hens. Looks like game birds. It looks like it could be quail or maybe pheasant or pigeon. Decent sizes. And then you also have some root vegetables like carrots and parsnips and potato, as well as some berries and fruit for a dessert, perhaps.
Wow, we haven't eaten like this in a long time.
Oh, this will be good.
All right. So is there anything else that you want to take care of before Leo comes back?
Not in the
Or are you
room.
just going to kind of wait for Leo before you make any further discussions or actions?
I think I'll probably wait because I do want to bring up about the forge, but other than that, like just relaxing, eating, and thinking about tomorrow.
Right on. All right. In that case, yeah, probably is Leo. Is there anything specific that you want to take care of, either during your prayer or afterwards?
Just during my prayer, I just want to, if I am able to get in touch with the Raven Queen, or even if I don't hear a response, I just want to let her know that it seems like one of her minions is holed up on this plane, and that we're in contact with him and trying to barter for the last key from him, and hopefully that means I can return to her side soon.
All
And that's
right.
about it.
Give me a charisma check.
13
Not bad.
is totally
All right.
muted.
So as you're there and you're attempting to mentally relay this information, and you're just kind of like going things over, you begin to feel a sense of happy anxiety that is not yours.
Okay. Can I tell where it's coming from?
It, it's it's almost as if, you know how if you're having a conversation with somebody and you can kind of get their vibe of, whether or not what you're saying is making them happy or sad, or something like that.
Yeah.
You can tell that it's that kind of feeling.
Okay. But I can't. Can I like tell like a general direction from where it's coming from, or is it just kind of like all over?
It's kind of coming a little bit from inside.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I gotcha.
Galen is happy he's eating.
Okay. All right.
Galen's happily anxious about the poop that he's gonna take later, because it's not just gonna be tiny little deer turds anymore.
All right. So like, does it get like stronger the longer I pray? Like the longer I speak to
No,
her?
it's kind of it's a brief wave of emotion that slowly but assuredly fades.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna kind of stay kneeling there for another like probably like half hour, just like quiet contemplation about that feeling, and then once I'm done, hand the guard back my sword and kind of try to do hand gestures to ask to get down to where my friends are.
All right. So he kind of tilts his head and looks at you funny, but then it looks like it clicks, and he's like, and he gives you a giant, exaggerated nod, and then he waves over to one of his guys, and you kind of hear them going, and the other guy kind of gives you a nod and waves, and he begins to lead you down the corridor once again.
Nice. Okay.
And,
Good deal.
After a handful of minutes, he brings you to a door a closed door that you can see that there is a little bit of light underneath it, which drastically sticks out in this area. And he just kind of gestures, gives you a subtle bow, and then walks away.
As he approaches, he hears a fiddle, the faint sounds of a fiddle.
Nice.
Leo's just gonna kind of mumble, well, found the right place. And he's gonna go over and knock on the door.
Oh, you think it's more food?
I highly doubt it.
He kind of like, and he goes back to playing the fiddle.
I'll get up and open the door.
It looks like I found the right room. Can I come in?
I suppose, unless you want to sleep out in the hall.
Judging from the size of those beds, I don't really think it'd be much different.
Yeah, pretty much, but hey, they're doing the best they can.
Yeah. Oh, you guys got food.
Yes, we did. We even saved you some.
Oh, well, I thank you for that. And I'm gonna go sit down on the floor and start eating.
So, turns out they have a forge here, too.
You gonna go try to make something?
There's nothing that I need, but you're always saying about, like, your weapons and they're not being good enough, or your old weapon or whatever, so maybe they can make you something here.
Well, I mean, I have a halfway decent bow right now. I had a pretty good sword and can't really forge a bow, but I'll take a look at it.
Right. And I'm sure, well, we have to ask about it first, but one of the kobolds just told us about it when he was dropping off the food.
Yeah. Alrighty. And Leo's gonna kind of start eating.
Right, and when I finish up, I'm just gonna find the nearest bed and see if I can, like, I don't know. Maybe I'll take the mattress off, just throw it on the ground, and use it for, like, my head or my upper body or something.
Meanwhile, Galen stretched out. He's like, oh, this is good. Haven't had a bed in a long time.
Since everyone left the All Watcher, Marm kind of hung back, head kind of slung low. Every once in a while, he'd scratch his temple, kind of shake his head. And when they led us to the room, he just walked to the back, like as far away from everyone else as he could, and just kind of sat down and is just staring blankly ahead, like shaking his head every once in a while, like, what? No. And that's where he's staying right now.
Nice.
Leo's gonna pull one of the mattresses off one of the remaining beds and like put it on the floor and just sleep there, which is like the top half of his body on the mattress.
Makes sense.
Actually, how many beds are in that room?
6.
Fuck it, I'll grab another mattress and put them together.
Totally copying that idea.
Well, there's only 4 of you. Galen only needs 1. So,
And Marmalak's screwed because we grabbed them first.
all right.
He's still got his half bed, it's fine.
Yeah, there we go.
Plus, he has thick skin.
And he's staring off into space anyway, so maybe that's how he sleeps. Or maybe that's how he sleeps now. I don't know if he's ever done that before.
Yeah, you notice after we finish eating and making the beds, Leo just kind of is laying on his makeshift bed and just kind of like staring up at the ceiling, not really talking.
Screw you guys, I'm going to sleep.
All right. So Dorian or Galen is the first to kind of nod off. He's been comfy for quite a while now.
Hmm.
In fact, the commotion and utterance of Leo entering probably stirred him awake a little bit. Dorian is the next to kind of start to drowse off. Leo, is there anything that you want to do in your pensivity, or are you just looking to slowly fade?
Slowly fade. He's just kind of laying there on his back, kind of like twisting his ring back and forth, and just kind of like staring up at the ceiling. And then after a while, he'll slowly kind of lose himself in sleep.
All right. Marmalek?
I was gonna fall asleep sitting up.
Nice. All right. So you guys fall asleep, and in undetermined amount of time passes. However, at a point, you guys wake up to a nearly completely dark room, save for the very subtle glow of. Actually, no. Did you cast light? Did you actually create a fire?
Oh no, I casted light.
Oh, so yeah. So eventually, you guys will wake up to a completely dark room.
All right. Well,
Probably Dorian has a fairly good internal clock at this point in time, so you're
Yeah.
probably the first one to rise.
all right. Those stones that they gave us aren't still glowing, are they?
No, they only glowed for maybe a couple hours.
All right. Well, seeing as how I can't see anything, I'll just put my hand on the ground and cast light right there in that spot.
There you go. That'll probably stir, at the very least, Leo and Marm, since they're also on the ground. Galen at least has a little cover from being slightly off the ground in his little bunk.
Mhm.
Leo wakes up and like puts his hand in between his eyes and the light. And just kind of like gives Dorian like a the fuck look.
Morning, sunshine.
Yeah. Have you prayed yet?
Nope, just got up.
All right. Well, wake me up when you're done doing that. And he's gonna roll away from the light and go back to sleep.
Wow, just like you did back then.
And Dorian will actually kneel down and begin praying.
Alrighty. Soon enough, Marm and Galen will also awake at to whatever standard you would like.
Yeah, he'll get up kind of slow. He'll stretch, and he's got his back to the door where the light is. So he eventually, like he'll roll to his back, and then the light's kind of shining in his face, and kind of like open one eye, and then sort of turn and open the other eye, and just kind of. Ugh. So are we getting up? Is it time to go? Did they bring more food?
I'm praying, so I'm not answering.
He get up, prop himself up on one elbow, and kind of take a look around and see if he missed anything, and kind of sigh and lay back, and just sort of wait for somebody to get him moving.
Marm slowly, very slowly, stands up like an old man, just kind of rickety. Stands up. You hear every joint in his body crack as he stands up straight, and then he just leans against the wall and just kind of stares off and looks over at Galen. And he's like, "So yesterday was interesting. Hopefully today's not that pitiful."
Yeah, well, I mean, at least they fed us, right? Hey, what's going on with you? You look a little out of sorts. You okay? Did you get something to eat?
There was food. I was just thinking about how we completely I just wasn't paying attention. I was talking about the wrong thing, and then we were attacked by a dragon.
Well, it's not the first time, right? I mean, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, he didn't kill us. Like, I mean, I guess he probably could have.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure he could have.
And hey, Doran said he's going to give us his eyes now. So, like, that's +1 for us.
Hopefully, it's actually what we need.
Yeah, it'd be a bummer for the dragon if it wasn't, right?
Oh boy, it would be.
Well, maybe you could use it in one of your creepy arcane things, right? Like the dragon eye, is that like a thing for a spell or something?
I think I saw a recipe with it once.
See, it's a win-win.
Ah, all right. Well, these two are doing their thing anyway. I'm just gonna think about what to say later. All right. And he just kind of shuts off again and goes back to stone face staring.
Galen just kind of shrugs and all right, he's talked enough now. He's more or less awake, so he swings his feet back down and stretches and waits for the other two to finish up because he knows they're doing their thing. So we're not doing anything before they're finished.
Wow. All right, so I'm guessing that Leo's gonna be all stick in the mud until Dorian finishes his praying.
No, not really. It's like
No.
halfway. He's like, Doran's probably like halfway through praying, and Leo kind of half opens his eye, and he's like, "Ugh, fine, I'm awake." And he goes over, and is there any food left from the night before?
I don't know. It depends
Like-
on how hungry you guys were.
Probably not. So yeah, then I'm just gonna sit up and just kind of wait for him to finish so we can do stuff.
Typical Sunday
Sounds-
morning.
So dirty.
All right. So in that case, silent. Dorian finishes praying, while Marmalek internalizes his struggle, and Galen hangs over the top bunk and kicks his feet like a 5-year-old.
That sounds about right.
All right, so Dorian's going to stand up from praying and is going to look around at everyone. How you guys feeling?
Okay.
Still hurting it all from yesterday?
I think I'm good.
Anyone else?
Leo's actually just sitting on one of the mattresses, just kind of staring at his hands, kind of ignoring you a little bit. Not intentionally, but he's not paying attention to you.
So Dorian's just going to look around and look at Leo and look at Marmalek and be like, uh-huh. Okay, I'm almost sorry I asked, and he's going to close his eyes, and a burst of light's going to emanate from him. I'm going to channel positive energy on everyone and heal everyone for 18 hit points.
Nice. Yeah, you know that if at the very least, even though he's being silent and both Leo and Marm did get hit with some shit. So
Yeah. So,
real quick, so Dave, why don't you go ahead and explain or describe what Dorian's channel energy looks like right now?
what it looks like?
Yeah, what does his channel energy usually look like?
It basically is he himself kind of glows light very quickly, and it's almost like a waving burst of holy looking energy that comes off of him and goes out in a spherical manner, but before it eventually trails off and dissipates.
All right. So with this small glow and burst of light, there's a slight alteration that occurs. Your normally kind of effervescent, slight white light that bursts out is more of a golden hue this time. It's also much, much brighter than normal. And I'm guessing that probably Marmalek and Leo aren't paying too much attention to what's going on, especially they're used to this happening.
Correct.
Yeah, it's a fair
Galen,
assessment.
however, yeah, Galen, you're kind of sitting there, just kind of surveying the room, waiting for shit to kick off. Why don't you give me a perception check?
I can do that. Let's see, I rolled a 10. I think my perception's 10, so 20.
Nice. There you go. You see something really weird. So Dorian's standing there, and he, closes his eyes and does his usual thing, and you're like, sweet, we're gonna get a little bit of healing. And all of a sudden, this bright burst of golden light shoots from him, and for a split moment, you see someone other than Dorian.
And
Just outside of Dorian is a character that is very see-through, but he has an outline there, but there's definite form to him, almost as if he's completely surrounding Dorian. And he has kind of these long robes, and his figure and everything follows the form of Dorian. So wherever Dorian's arms are placed, this person's arms encompass Dorian's, and he mimics his movement almost one-to-one.
So he's sitting there. He's not paying too much attention. Like, we're getting ready to go or whatever. And he does the glowy thing, and he's like, yeah, like you said, he's like, oh, cool, some healing. And then when all that happens, he starts. He's like, holy shit, Leo, Marm, did you see that? Dorian, is that you? Hey, Dorian. He's like, start waving his hands, like, buddy, hey, yo.
And just almost as soon as you start to do that, as the light fades, so does this figure.
And he's like squinting, and he's like, moving his head like back and forth, like if he changes the angle, maybe he can still kind of see what's going on. And then he starts moving up closer, and he's pawing like a cat at Dorian to like see if he touches anything like around him.
Dorian will open his eyes.
Oh, good.
No, I mean, like Dorian's just gonna open his eyes and like start watching you, and like, what the hell?
Well, I mean, you didn't see; your eyes were closed. But I wasn't paying attention because like you're doing your thing and like whatever, and like there was a form or like a creature or something that was like you were inside, and then it was like you'd move your hand, and then it was moving its hand. So there was like almost like a double. It was really weird. I've never seen you do that before.
What the hell are you talking about, Galen?
No, well, see, look, you were gonna do your glowy thing, and I wasn't paying attention because, like, whatever, it's the glowy thing. And then all of a sudden, like, the light was weird, and then like you were inside of like another form, like there was almost like a ghost, like on top of you.
Huh. That's new. That has never happened before.
So that's not a thing? I mean, it is a thing. I saw it. I know I saw it.
Well, let's see if you can see it again. And this time I'm actually going to keep my eyes open. But I'm actually going to look slightly up a little bit, because if I'm in this thing, I should be able to notice, hopefully. At which point I'm going to channel energy yet again, and heal everyone for another 11 points.
All right. Has this gathered the attention of Marmalek and Leo, or are you guys still like whatever?
Yeah,
Well, I
no.
yelled at him.
Yeah, considering Galen's like freaking out about it, it's
Indeed.
garnered Leo's attention.
All right.
Yeah,
What about
Mom's
Mom?
looking up too.
All right. Yeah. In that case, so you channel energy once more.
Mhm.
All right. All three of you then go ahead. Everyone except for Dorian, give me perception checks.
Ooh, 28.
Nice.
30.
Whoa.
I'm the scout. Like,
Touche.
Well, I guess I have the lowest one with a 22.
Nice.
Womp womp.
All right. So this time when you do it, Dorian, you see that definitely the light that you radiate has changed color. As well as you do see kind of a very brief, almost golden shimmer in front of you. That just very quickly and only slightly blurs your vision for a moment. Meanwhile, Marmalek, you can see what I explained to Galen last time, with the figure that encompasses him with the long robes and everything like that. However, this time, Galen, now that you're actually paying attention, and Leo, you can point out, because you're prepared for this as well, that you do in fact see this other form that encompasses Dorian. And you see that he is in these long robes. He also has, now you can really see that Galen, you weren't totally sure before if he was wearing a hood or something like that, but now you actually see that it's actually really long hair that comes kind of just below the shoulder. And he has this very long but very well taken care of beard. That also comes up into like a nice little mustache and everything, and is just very well manicured. And he is also, you can just barely make out right before it fades away that it actually is the vestige of a rather old gentleman.
So Galen's standing, pretty close, like right next to him. So he's just like, he's got like both hands in front of him, like he's in the dark, kind of like feeling around to see if he can like touch anything. And as it pops up, he's got his hands like almost on Dorian, but like looking over his shoulder. I'm like, you guys see this, right? You totally see this.
Real quick question: Could we see what the guy was wearing?
Yeah, just long and very decorative robes.
Okay. Yeah, Galen. I saw it. It was like an old man.
One real quick thing. So what was your first heal, Dave?
18.
18? Okay. Would 54 points bring everybody up to full?
Yes.
Yeah, the
I was
18 almost did.
There you go. All right. In that case, take whatever's the remainder and turn it into temporary hit points.
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
I wasn't even paying
Holy
attention.
shit.
How many points did we get?
That would be so he actually heals you for 54 hit points.
Okay.
And if there's anything left over after you hit full health, that is now temporary hit points.
52 temp hit points.
There you go.
Not bad. 36 for me.
There you go. And yeah, so I'm thinking that Dorian actually might be the lowest one. So your second heal was for 11.
Mhm.
All right. So if anybody has less than 33 temporary hit points, you now have 33.
Nice.
So take whichever one is higher.
Done.
Nice.
I'm very healthy at the moment.
And you feel it as well, all four of you.
Ooh, it's all tingly. Dorian.
Yeah, Leo.
So, old guy, really neatly trimmed beard, and really decorative robes.
I
Like
didn't,
anybody you know.
Boost. I just saw the golden hue to the light. I didn't see anything like surrounding me, did I?
No. Well, you saw that there was something just beyond you,
Uh-huh.
only a few inches away, that kind of was between you and everything else. It was just
Okay.
very opaque, but very translucent for you.
Right. I just saw gold light all around me and, emanating from me to you guys. I didn't see anything else. What old man are you talking about?
That's what surrounded you. There was an old man, fairly old man, the long beard, really well kept kind of beard and hair, and he had these decorative robes on. That's what he looked like.
And Dorian for a second is just gonna kind of like smile, and then he's actually gonna like put his head back and start like laughing, like really, really heartfelt.
Someone you know?
It it very well may be. I don't know what's happening or why or if it's even possible, but it sounds like the one you just described to me was Paylor himself.
Well, that would be why he appeared as like a ghostly figure then.
But oh, well, I mean, yeah, but
Ouch. Way to turn the event on its head.
but why? Like, I mean, I understand that I am, for all intents and purposes, his last cleric, but I've never seen or heard of anything like this before. It may be possible that Pelor is still alive in me.
So, so you're saying that was him right here?
Based on your description, and I guess it kind of makes sense. I remember when we all had those visions and we like saw different things.
Uh-huh.
Well, I saw myself in decorative robes and I was holding, I believe it was a staff with an old man's head on the top and a mace in the other hand, and it's very similar to, you know, what Palor looked like. But I just thought it was, reaffirming the idea that I still belong to Palor. But maybe it means something more. Maybe Palor is a part of me now, and that maybe it's possible to bring him back.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's good, right?
That's incredible. It's amazing. Like, it just goes to show you that the light has never once failed me. I mean,
Galen kind of looks askance over at Leo.
What?
Nothing.
So, yeah, I'm just gonna.
I don't know if this is a temporary thing or if this is going to stay with me, but in either case, if this is what's happening to me now, I shouldn't waste any time. I should go see the Silver Sun and see if I can make him better and heal his blindness.
Yes, that way we can take his eye.
Well, no, he's going to give it to us. We don't have to take it.
But once he gives it to us, we will take it out of here. So we're still going to take it, but just
Yeah. No, that's fine.
All right.
So Dorian's actually going to start to like make his way toward the door, like kind of hurriedly.
All right, and when you actually go out, there is a guard standing outside, waiting for you.
Am I blocking the light from his eyes?
Hmm?
Am I blocking the light from hitting his eyes?
Yeah, he's just a little bit down the hall so that the light won't like actually hit him. He's not standing like directly outside the door. It's more like he's like probably like 5 or 6 feet down the hallway, just kind of waiting for you guys till you're ready.
All right. So I'm going to turn and look at him and start saying, I need to go see the All Watcher and the oh wait, hold on. And I'm going to cast tongues on myself again. Can you please bring me to the All Watcher so we can go see the Silver Sun, like, immediately?
And he gives you a nod and he said, "Yes, the All Watcher has told me to bring you to him once you are ready."
Oh, I think I'm more than ready at this point. I'm ready. Let's go. Like, Dorian is just so beside himself right now. Like, he's just like rambling.
You catch him a little off guard with your enthusiasm, but follow.
And I follow.
So he leads you. Is only Dorian going, or are the rest of you tagging along?
I'm going with him.
Yeah, I'm going with him too.
All right. So yeah, you guys walk down, and he leads you through the zigzags and back and forths of a bunch of tunnels until eventually you come back to the same forum area that you were in before. And he kind of leads you a little bit around the corner where, again, almost in the same exact positions, though it looks like there might be different kobolds here. I don't know, they kind of all look the same. But there's a handful of kobolds, and the All Watcher is there, sitting, leading them in meditation. And so the guard stands there and he goes, puts his hand up and goes, "One moment, let me make the All Watcher aware that you are here."
Okay, go ahead, go for it.
He walks over and you see them talk for a moment, and then the guard waves you over, and you see the All Watcher give a before standing up to accept you.
So I'll walk over then.
All right. And he just kind of stands there staring at you.
I'm ready to go enter and see the Silver Sun again.
And he gives you a nod and he says, "Let me check with him to make sure that he is ready to see you. I'm sure that he has been waiting pensively. One moment." And so he kind of just walks off, and he walks into that doorway that there was before, and you just kind of see him stand there with his head bowed. And then he reaches up, places his hand on the wall. The door opens, and he then turns to you and kind of gives you a gesture to walk in.
And I'm going to walk in.
All right. And as you pass him, you again feel a subtle little tinge of a beat of heat before he says, "Remember, tread lightly."
And Dorian's just going to kind of stop and look at him and give him a nod and a smile and be like, "Don't worry, you have nothing to fear." And walk in.
All right. So I'm guessing the four of you walk in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So you walk in, and Marmalek can see that in the same corner, you can barely make out, a curve of his tail, maybe a tip of a wing, beyond a few of the pillars there, that he's still laying in the corner, just kind of waiting for you guys to settle in.
So I'll see him take a couple steps forward, but I won't go up to him just yet. We have returned.
And you hear and the temperature in the room does drop a few degrees at that point. And you hear the claws and the scrape of him getting up to his feet. And then what's your light situation right now?
I haven't casted anything.
Okay, so at this point you're in pitch black still. So the you hear kind of this like as he walks towards, and Marmalek, you can see that he is making his way towards Dorian. And eventually, Dorian, you can't see him. However, you can most definitely feel him as his very cold breath just kind of pings you in the face and chest.
I'll hold my hand out. May I? It would be much easier to heal you if I can see what it is that I'm doing.
And he actually, at that point, you see that he kind of bends down a little bit, and you feel him back off of you slightly, and then there's a very precise and sharp breath that hits about a foot or so in front of your feet, that actually an aura of light, dull and small, only about probably a foot and a half, 2 feet in diameter, begins to radiate. At which point it lights up enough that you can at least see his face as he steps forward.
Thank you. If you're ready, I will begin.
Do what you must.
All right, so I will kneel down in front of him and reach out toward him. May I lay my hands upon you?
And when you kind of reach out, he lowers his head down to be on level with your hand.
All right. And I will place my hand on his head, like down between his eyes. And we'll say, Pelor, if you are truly with me now, then help me. Give this creature back its sight. At that point, I will cast Remove Blindness/Deafness.
Nice. All right. And you can see that. So describe the effect that this has.
So, all right, while I'm praying, my hand will slightly begin to glow. And as I actually go to cast the spell, it will almost sort of melt away from my hand and go onto his forehead and slowly, almost water-like, go along his scales and into his eyes and swirl around the eyeballs and then into them itself and dissipate the light that they create.
All right. And so there's, as your light dissipates, there is a moment where nothing happens. However, then after a couple of seconds, you can see that his deep, opaque gray eyes that just totally clouded over the. It's almost like a sky, like clouds parting, and it slowly begins to fade, and slowly but surely the brilliant ice blue of his eyes begins to fade back until eventually you see the crystal ice blue of the eye with a thin slit of this grayish yellow and circles of white and green. And he gives a few blinks, which is basically almost like a curtain opening and closing. And he just looks at you, for the first time, because he can. You speak true of your words and your faith, cleric. I must welcome that. And in truth, I did not believe you, but your actions speak volumes. You have followed through on your end of the bargain. So it is by contract that I must as well.
There have been many who have doubted the light, but my faith in it has always remained, be it through Palor or the light itself. And I'm glad it is able to help you and to prove that I am just as true and just as the light itself. And I thank you for the sacrifice that you are about to make.
I hope that whatever you feel this might accomplish, your actions are swift and successful. And with that, he reaches up one of his claws, and you see his talons begin to glow kind of a whitish blue. And he reaches up towards his eye and begins to sink all of his talons around the eye into his head. And he kind of winces slightly before then you see him kind of close his talons around it, and he pulls out his eye. And he then reaches, you kind of see him go, and a soft glow emanates over himself, and the eye socket actually begins to weave skin over itself, as he now has his eye in his hand, and it is almost smoking cold. Like dry ice almost.
Nice.
When he reaches in and starts to take the eye out, Gale is just like, "Oh no! Oh jeez!"
All right, and he then hands it out to you.
And I shall gently take it from him.
All right, and it is. Luckily, I'm guessing you have a glove or gauntlets of some sort with your armor.
Yeah.
Even through that, it is insanely cold. It is slowly beginning to warm, but it's like holding a bucket of ice.
Nice. Has his eye bolt, the socket, completely skinned over? Or?
At this point, yeah.
Okay. I thank you, Silver Sun. I hope that this has restored your faith as well, and that once we are able to accomplish what it is we've set out to do, that you will be able to be reunited with your kin.
Dorian, what does tongues? What's the description of tongues?
It the gist of it is basically it allows me to speak and understand any language for the duration,
Okay,
but only like one at a time.
sounds good. Only one language at a time?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So at this point, the Silver Sun turns his gaze away from Dorian and looks directly at Marmalek. And Dorian, what he says following, you cannot understand.
All right, wait, time out. I gotta
Yes,
make a correction to that.
go ahead.
The actual description: the spell grants the creature touched the ability to speak and understand any language of any intelligent creature, whether it is a racial tongue or regional one. The subject can only speak one language at a time, although it may be able to understand several.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. In which case, I will say, Dorian, you can probably get the gist of this.
Okay.
However, it's almost as if the words evade you.
Gotcha.
You get the sense of what he's saying, but
Okay.
not the full understanding.
Fair enough.
All right. Marmalek, the Silver Sun does turn to you, and he speaks now. In possibly beforehand, he's kind of been slightly bastardizing his speech, almost as if because he's been communicating with the kobolds.
Okay.
And also he figured that that nobody speaks Draconic anymore, really. At least not in its true form. However, you got the sense that back when you guys did first talk, that he even mentioned, I believe, that he hasn't heard the true language in quite a long time. And so he now speaks purely to you in a linguistic sense. And he says, "Your spirit is young, yet your body is old, and the words that you speak are almost beyond even time itself. You hold a very powerful but fragile and dangerous balance within you. Be wise what you do with this true speaker."
I fragile balance. I'm no one in the world. I only seek more knowledge.
Knowledge is what drives the world. Those without thought do not exist. Those with it are the ones who demand and control true power.
Well,
Lest you know as well, the words that you speak hold power. The language was driven off for a reason.
I see. So, your language is ancient and powerful. Are you saying that it was destroyed, or those who speak it were pruned from the world? I don't understand.
It's not the people who gave the words power, but The power was imbued by the words. Those who used to speak it were feared, as power quickly corrupts. So, the words you speak now hold great power. Be wise in how you use them.
I shall. And you are the only other living being that I have ever spoken them with.
You as well.
I don't see myself utilizing them much.
Remember, it is not purely to speak to another in which one uses words.
I understand. Is there anything you would have us do for you in the world outside on other than complete our quest?
I merely need peace.
I pray you find it.
'Tis long ago that I was hatched. Ever since then, the world has been in chaos. I have been in chaos. Torn apart. If your mission settles that, so be it.
We are hoping that we will bring balance to the world once again.
And he just kind of gives you a nice nod and goes, one final breath out. Before then, literally turning tail and wandering back to his spot.
And so Marm turns to the others and goes, well, he just wished us luck.
Okay, but is that what we came here for?
I believe so.
The luck of a dragon is supposed to be impeccably potent.
Okay.
Galen screws his face up a little bit. Yeah, he's watching the conversation. You know what the hell's going on, and he says, looks over to Marm, and he's like, "Is he stuck here? Like they're not keeping him, right? I mean, like they couldn't really keep him here."
Well, unless there's another way out of here, like the way that the All Watcher opened up isn't exactly big enough for him to get out.
But he's a dragon, right? I mean, can't they like do whatever? I mean, Marm just said like even him just wishing us luck is like super powerful.
Well, if when the world was, put into this state, affected magic and affected the planes, who's to say that it didn't affect capabilities of dragons either?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true.
He did say that he was split, that he was in constant turmoil and agony, and I think if the balance is brought back, we'll have successfully brought him peace.
Okay, yeah, because that sounds like that's not a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, he was willing to give up an eye for it.
Well, I mean, even if they did have him trapped, I guess there's nothing we could do. So hopefully this thing works.
I agree.
I just
Only one
wish
way to
there was
find
a
out.
way to. I wish there was a way to test to make sure that that's a key, other than traveling all the way.
Well, the last key we got actually had a way back near it.
That is true.
The problem is it doesn't exactly stand out. It was something we just kind of came across.
Yeah. Mind if I see the eye for a second?
Sure. And I'll hold it out to him.
I'm gonna like poke it, and Caboose is gone. I poke it, nothing happens. Shit. Anybody know Draconic for friend?
Nope.
Uh, damn. Cucumber.
Well, according to the translator I just found, the common form, the word for draconic for friend is friend. So me thinks that's not
That's
a
a really
dependable
shitty
one.
translator then.
Yes, it is.
Or dragons just have so few friends that they don't even have a word for it.
Ooh.
Dicks.
All right, here we go.
All right, what did I miss?
Um, let's see.
Poke
Oh.
eye.
We're like kind of trying to examine the eye a little bit.
What are you guys still doing this in the dragon's lair?
I don't think we've left yet. We should probably leave first. Yeah, I agree with that statement. So we
With the
leave the
statement you
lair.
just made.
Yep. We should leave the lair before we poke and prod this gentleman's eye in front of him. Or gentle dragon. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna head towards the door.
All right. And so you stand in front of the door, and it stays closed for a moment, but soon slowly slides open.
I'll walk out then. It's a all watchers chamber.
All right. So you walk out, and the there's that dozen or so kobolds sitting there in meditation. The All Watcher leading them. Um, However, they are not in silent meditation at this point. They are still, or at least the regular kobolds are still in their kneeling stance, but all of them are looking up, eyes open, straight at the door, and the All Watcher is standing there, his one hand on his staff and another hand kind of not clutching but resting on the handle of a sheathed sword. And Leo, you can see that you actually see something a little weird, that he normally is he had like brownish scales with kind of perhaps slight flecks of yellow and red or yellow and orange. He looks to have a lot more of an orangish red tinge to him right now, and there's actually bits in between his scales that look like they're actually um, glowing slightly, but not like a Dorian light glow, almost like a fire glow.
So Galen, again, probably not really paying attention. Just, everybody sort of stops and he stops and looks up and like kind of takes a step back, drops his hand, and then is like, ah, damn it. It's, Dorian?
Yeah,
Is there a problem?
I honestly do not know.
So Galen just kind of gets like a sheepish grin and he just sort of waves.
So I'll turn to the All Watcher. Is everything all right?
I told you to tread lightly. What do you do but dismember the sun?
The Sun did this to himself as part of our agreement. By the way,
And
he's also able to see now. You're welcome.
and you see now the glow, the ember under him kind of raises up slightly, but then he goes, and each breath you see kind of the glow go down and down and down until with this last deep breath out, you actually see a little bit of smoke kind of come out of his mouth. And then finally he opens up his eyes and he says, "You have accomplished your task. I feel that you should be moving on to your next destination."
And just looking at the sword by his side, I would tend to agree with you. Unfortunately, you still have our equipment.
Which is on your way out.
Then I suppose nothing else need be said. We'll gather our
No.
things and be on our way.
I believe that would be best.
I'm just going to give him a nod and look around for who our guide is going to be.
And he sees you doing this and he just kind of hurriedly waves over to somebody. And you hear them go, and Dorian and Marmalek can actually understand that he says basically like, get them out of here as quickly as possible. And so the guard, with now a slightly nervous look on his face, walks over to you and he just kind of waves at you and begins to walk out.
I'm going to look over my shoulder at Leo and Marmalek. We believe we've overstayed our welcome. Let's get going. They're going to give us our stuff back.
Yep, let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I'd say it definitely looks like it's time to go.
All right, and we follow.
All right. So the path that he leads you down is a little bit tighter than the ones that you're used to. He still obviously picks ones that you can walk through, that you don't have to get down on your hands and knees or crawl. Well, three of you. But it sure definitely is a different path than what you have taken before, and within a very short amount of time, you are back at the main gate. And the guard walks over, they have a discussion of basically like he says, the All Watcher says give them the things and they're to leave immediately. And so the two guards go in and bring out your equipment for you. And as this is happening, they are also opening up the door. They're heavily multitasking at this moment.
I'll just grab my stuff, start strapping it on, getting everything ready to go.
Likewise, is there anything missing or added to the gear that I receive?
Nope, everything is basically as you left it.
All right, good to go.
It's got a little bit of it's a little cool because it hasn't been worn at all. But other than that, nope.
Marm's gonna lean over towards the guard and say, "Hey, do you know of any old doors around here that might lead to another dimension, maybe another plane of existence?"
He just kind of quirks his head at you and looks confused and frightened at the same time.
I'll take that as a no. All right, thanks. Have a good day.
All right. So as they've begun to open the door now, there is you can feel a slight breeze that kind of bites through, and as you are ushered out, basically you're like attempting to like strap your belts back on and your swords and all your gear, and they're like, yeah, you can. There's room out there for that. You can walk and do that at the same time, right? And you get out, and there is a blissfully cold wind that's blowing about right now.
We better get moving.
Yeah, but to where?
Well, we know of one gateway that works. May as well head back there. It's the closest one.
All right, that works. Mind if I kind of examine that while we walk?
You mean the thing I never took back from you? Yeah, sure. Feel free.
Nah, you never gave it to me. You just held it up for me to look at.
Well, you should have taken it then. Here you go.
I was gonna, and then you were like, "Should we do this in front of him?"
Well, I think it was Galen actually. Anyway, we're splitting hairs. Here's the eyeball. Be careful with it. Let's get moving.
Is it still really cold to touch?
No, at this point it's pretty much room temperature.
Okay. Does it just look like a dragon eye?
Yeah. So basically, what you're holding right now is it looks like a dragon eye. It doesn't feel like a dragon eye. It feels almost like glass. And it's, let's see, how do you? Oh, there you go. It's like a D100. You know how a D100 they have those that it's like a die encased in a ball, and it's like
that
filled
floats.
with so it floats. So when you like roll it,
Yeah.
obviously a D100 is really hard to roll. So it's like that. So you feel like as if the eye is encased in this glass sphere.
Alrighty then. Alright, so I'm just gonna kind of look at it, and then while we're walking, I'm gonna give it back to Dorian. Like, you earned it. You can keep a hold of it.
All right. Works for me.
Alright, so we're traveling back to the gate.
All right. So You remember, so as you guys begin to travel west back towards the mountain entrance and into back with the gate, um, you travel for maybe only say 15, 20 minutes before that wind very kind of quickly and deliberately dies out. Um, it's almost as if there's a an area in which the wind is encapsulated. As you can see, like I'm standing here and there's no wind. You look behind you and there's like clearly trees and bushes being affected by a wind.
Huh. Either the world is really more screwed up than we thought, or maybe magic's finally leaking its way back in.
Or we really pissed off the Silver Sun.
No, the Silver Sun, not at all. He actually seemed pretty happy. Aside from the fact that he can't go anywhere and that he's estranged from his family and can't go back with his kin and is basically stuck in that little tiny room. And you know what? He's fine. Let's go.
That was very comforting.
Yeah, but like, what are we gonna do? Like, where are we gonna go?
Well, the idea, I assume, was that we have to go and unlock those other spheres that we saw on the other plane. So, I guess we have to go back there and find a way to get each key to its proper orb.
So do we just like leave them there? We have to like stick them in?
I think we just have to stick them in because we've already reignited a couple of them, I believe, and we still have the keys with us. So I think we just need to get them in there and reignite them.
Well, so do we have to like walk for months and months and months again?
Out of character, how long did it take us to get from
No.
the dragon to Ixen Merrick?
Only maybe a few days, 3, maybe 4, if that.
So that then.
Well, whatever, a couple of days, a couple of months. Hey, it was a lot of walking. That's all I remember.
Well, it would have been nice if we had horses or something, but we got to work with what we got, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, at least when we get back to the other plane, all the portals are pretty close together.
Yeah, it's just the getting past whatever's surrounding them that I'm concerned about.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to deal with that when we come to it.
Indeed. Let's get going.
All right. So, like I said, it is going to take you guys a couple of days in order to get there. I'm guessing you're going back to your normal watches then?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. All right. What exactly is your watch situation?
I'll
like
take
who
first.
takes what role? I can't remember.
I usually take the... Go for it.
Yeah,
Well,
Dave and I usually take... I'll take the first, he takes the last because he
Beginning
prays in
and
the
end.
morning and I
Yeah.
pray at night.
Indeed.
I'll take second then after Leo.
All right. Then that throws Marm in a third.
Yep.
All right. All right. In that case, so you guys are going through, and apparently, your little encounter the second time with the Silver Sun took a little bit longer than you thought. So when you leave Ixen Merrick, it's already probably a little bit past noontime. So you guys really only have a few hours of travel in you before night falls. So you get maybe about a half day of travel the first time. Your second day, you're going along and you can kind of see the mountains rising up and everything, and so you definitely know, all right, well, it's getting close. But at one point, the darkness really begins to start setting in, and you know that your entrance is still a bit of a ways off, so you guys decide to rest. Um, why don't you go ahead and give me a round of perception checks?
Ooh, 14.
20 for Leo.
Wow.
I got a base 10. It's not that impressive of a roll.
Oh.
I rolled a 16, so I too have a 20.
Ooh.
Al?
Refuses to roll.
I've been muted and trying to talk. 31.
Whoa!
Yeah, I rolled a 19. It's crazy.
Nice.
Not bad. All right. So you guys are setting up your camp and everything and waiting down, and at this point, probably in the early morning, the late afternoon, early evening, you notice that a small bit of precipitation has started to set in. It's not really raining or anything. It's there's very light flurries coming down. John, I know you probably aren't used to this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like it's nothing that is enough to actually coat the ground with snow or anything like that. It's pretty much melting as soon as it hits the surface. However, there is just just a tad bit of snow that's drifting down. And Leo, your watch goes by fairly uneventfully. You hear, you guys are near the forest and kind of peeking in and out of the woods, so you do hear the normal sounds of nature, chirping birds, hooting owls, crickets, and the like. And so then your task ends. You wake up Galen, and Galen, you begin your watch. The night is really kind of starting to creep in at this point. The temperatures dropped a decent amount. Nothing that you really need to pack up or anything like that. It's not like you can see your breath. It's just the air is a little bit more crisp than you're used to at this point. And one thing you do notice is that a little bit through your watch, you're kind of enjoying the gentle sounds of nature and everything, and then you think maybe for a moment you might have nodded off, because within a few moments there's a lot of silence around you.
And that's what wakes me up.
Yeah. And you do notice off in the distance, probably about 80 or so feet, a little bit of an eye glint, and you were able to catch 3 pairs of eyes kind of slowly but steadily kind of weaving a little bit and bobbing towards you. They're moving very slowly, very cautiously towards you.
So I kind of snap my head around, and then I sort of like scratch my chin, and then sort of look up at the moon, and then kind of like side-eye glance to see if I could still see him. Then he'll kind of like stretch, and if he's like close enough to say Leo, since he probably maybe still awake because I'm not sure how long I was sleeping for, kind of like slap his boot.
Guessing that wakes me up.
Oh yeah.
If the first slap doesn't do it, then I kind of reach over and start tugging on his toe.
Yeah, what? What's going on?
There's something out there, and it looks like it's warily casing our campsite.
And I grab my bow and start looking around and go, wake up the others.
Okay. And I'll kind of like, I'll stand up and I'll stretch and I'll kind of like, just look around, and I kind of walk by Dorian and like kick the bottom of his foot. And then I'll sort of wander over kind of like to where Marm is and just kind of like sit down and, kind of look like I'm trying to like settle in and, do the same thing. I'll kind of like poke him as I'm, gesticulating and just, mutter like there's something out there.
And Marm's eyes are open and just staring at you, and he doesn't move.
And I look down at you, and I'm assuming like your eyes reflect too. So you look up at me, and I look down at you, and then I kind of jump like, oh fuck, like I forgot he does that.
Dorian will like pick his head up and look around, but he knows he makes a lot of noise, so I'm actually not going to reach for or get like anything or try to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of mutter down to Marm like, well, what do we do now?
Maybe we could just make a lot of light and scare him off. Or, how many are there?
It looked like 3 maybe?
Okay. Big?
Could I tell Jesse like were the eyes like set far apart? Were they close to the ground?
Yeah, they're pretty decent way off the ground. So these look like they're fairly big creatures, whatever they are out there.
So I'm like, all right, hold on, I got an idea. So I'll stand up again and kind of wander over to where the embers are of the fire, because it's probably burned sort of low since I was sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll kick a couple of like larger branches to get it going, and I'll kind of like squat so I'm like ready to go if something rushes, but I'll try to build the fire up to see if things are close enough to be within that ring of light from the fire.
Mm-hmm. All right. So the fire probably only gives off about 20 feet. Let's treat it like a torch or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it probably gives off about 25 feet of regular light and about another 20 feet of dim light. So it's not, they're just a little bit outside that. Although, Marmalek, you're a tiefling. You have dark vision.
I do.
What distance do you have it out to?
I
think the
60 feet.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's usually the common distance. Yeah. So at this point, these creatures are kind of creeping and crawling towards you a little bit, and at this point, they've kind of made it to, you've been able to see the glint ever since Galen pointed it out to you, and now they're kind of making it within your vision, and you can make out that there are actually 3 wolves out there. However, these do not appear to be your normal run-of-the-mill wolf. 2 of them are probably your above normal size for a wolf. Standing, I'd say probably about 4 feet or so off the ground. And they have these kind of beady little blue eyes and this white coat of fur that looks almost kind of a little muddled. And then the third one, however, which is actually in between the 2, is much larger than the other 2. Probably stands easily 6 feet at the shoulder. And it has similar blue eyes, although these ones look much crisper. and even with your dark vision appear to have almost a glow to them, and its fur is nearing blindingly white.
Okay. Have I read anything about large wolves like this?
Go ahead and give me a nature check.
Where did nature go? There it is, 28.
All right. Wow, not bad. So the two flanking on the side are winter wolves. They are kind of almost like a cross between a regular wolf and a warg. And they basically, stay in colder climates. And because of that, they have an adaptation to colder weather. The middle one you notice definitely as well, actually not quite. It looks like a warg, but its coat and its eyes give hint of something more, something not natural.
So I'm gonna whisper to Galen, kind of relay most of that to him. But it's just it doesn't look like it. There's something about it. I don't know. We might have a problem.
I'll actually say for you, Marmalek too, that the one in the middle, the larger one, you can see now that it has, when it breathes, it's cold here, but it's by no means nearing freezing or anything like that. However, this larger wolf, when it breathes, it gives off a cloud of breath, as if it is, well below freezing temperature.
Interesting. Okay. Would I have well below freezing temperature? Okay. All right. Have you guys ever had any interaction with anything that's, well, freezing or an ice creature of some kind, or?
Not me.
Nah, me neither.
Well, maybe the fire will be a good thing then. You think it'll keep them away?
Maybe.
Galen puts like a bigger log on the fire.
All right. And when you do that, you actually see now a flash of light from the large wolf's eyes, and the other two dart off to the sides, and this one just sprints straight for you now. Go ahead and roll me initiative.
Well, shit. Oh, fuck, that's not good.
13.
All right.
8.
Yay.
Fuck that
16.
dice.
25.
You say 16 for Dorian?
Correct.
Nice. All right. We have this little guy here. All right. So at this moment, Galen has stoked the fire, which has now stoked the wolves. They have sprinted off. The four of you are generally around the fire. Um, I'm guessing that you would have kind of stayed a little close to your camp. So you currently have the big wolf running towards you, and the other two have now run off to the sides. Let's see, Leo, you are first.
All right. How far away are they? Would you say from me right now?
Probably
Within 30 feet. Sorry. How far away are they?
At this point, about 50 feet.
50 feet. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of drop to a knee to steady my shots and just let loose, just like 3 quick shots.
Sounds good.
Actually, make that 4. So you gotta be shitting me. Okay, so first I rolled a 20.
Against.
What's up?
Who are you targeting?
No, sorry, I'm going to attack. You said that the main one, the biggest one is charging right for us, and then the other 2 are flanking.
Correct.
I want to fire at the one that's flanking towards like my side of the fire.
Sounds good.
And real quick, because we haven't played Pathfinder in a while, do we confirm criticals?
Not in this campaign.
Okay. So I crit with my first shot.
Nice.
So that is 8, 9. Oh, sorry, 8. So 24 points of damage.
Whoa, not bad.
And then still standing. I take it.
Mm-hmm.
Second shot is gonna be 22 for an attack. All right. So that's only gonna do 1 point of damage, and then third shot is gonna be 12.
12 will heartily miss.
Okay. And then the last one is going to be an even 20.
Will hit.
Okay. For another 5 damage.
Not bad. So basically, Leo hunkers down and then lets off a barrage of quick shot arrows at one of the wolves.
The first one, because I had time to prepare, I actually shot 2 arrows at once.
Ooh. So that manages to find its spacing. The hunter that you are, right on the front shoulder. Especially you have a nice side angle of this thing as it's kind of trying to run around, and then you kind of pepper it as it runs as well with another few shots, and you can definitely see this thing give off some yelps and kind of gets tripped up slightly and kind of hits the ground and rolls a little bit as it then gets back up into its feet and starts to kind of run, though not nearly at the same speed or angle that it was able to pursue before. Any movement or any other preparations?
The only thing I'm going to say is Galen, fire at the same one that I did.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right. Next up then it's going to be Dorian.
All right. I know the 2 smaller ones like fanned out to the side.
Yep.
Are they like in a straight line? Like if you were to like line them up?
What do you mean?
Like if you could, like say they were on like a map on the tabletop or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like would you be able to draw like a relatively straight line across and like hit all 3 of them?
Oh God, no. No, because you have the one in the middle that's running right towards you, and then the other 2 have sprinted off to the sides of you guys.
Oh,
so
okay.
They are all spread out.
So we're surrounded for the most part.
Yeah, you could. I mean, you could draw like a nice little triangle between the two of them. So between the three of them.
Okay. Then what I'm actually going to do is, you guys will have never seen this before, so be prepared for some awesomeness. Dorian is actually going to put his hand on the ground, and you are actually going to see we'll call it a sigil or like a symbol appear around us in a 20-foot radius. And all surrounding us is a, 20-foot high wall of fire. But you guys notice that you don't feel heat coming from it. Anything on the outside of it, however, should.
Very nice.
Yeah, so that is Wall of Flame.
Very nice. I like it. All right. So at this point, you have the wolf that Leo has shot kind of begins to turn now and is running towards you, but then is very put off by this wall, and he's just kind of hunker down, and he starts growling at you and just fucking eyeing directly at you. But pawing at the ground, but also backing up. So he's like very. You can tell that he wants to get at you, but there's this thing in his way. Marmalek.
So as everything started to unfold, Marm was kind of still reasonably prone, but he had his hand on his staff. So he sees the wolf coming towards him, and he sees the other two going off to the sides. So he actually uses his staff to prop himself up, and then immediately thrusts it forward towards the wolf coming towards the front, the same one that Leo and Galen were going after.
Okay.
And he utters Ra Tista Mach, and a bolt of fire shoots. Well, it's technically a flash, but it's extremely bright, and it burns. And let's see, be a reflex save for half damage. It's been so long. Do I actually roll anything for this?
Yeah, well, yeah, you have to give me a DC, what his reflex, what he needs
DC.
to beat.
Yes, where's my DC?
Yeah.
It's been so goddamn long. 5e has been spoiling me.
Right.
So it's going to be a DC of 20.
Oh, God. Yeah, he fails horribly.
Okay. So then that will be 1 per cast. Okay, so 2d6 fire damage. That's going to be 7 total. 7 total fire damage.
Very nice. All right. So you let off this spark, this flash of fire, right?
Yes.
That you see all of a sudden that your staff lights up, and then poof, there's a flash over on the warg, and you see that it kind of hits and it flares, but then there's this extra little poof burst that comes right at the very end, and he just you see him wince as he's running towards you. All right. Anything else that you would like to do?
I just want to make a pointed attempt to look to the left and right real quick and see where the other two went off to.
All right. Yeah, you can definitely see them. You can see that one, the one on your right that Leo is shooting at, is now kind of he is banked up towards the fire, and the other one is still kind of running around at you guys.
Okay. That'll be my turn, yeah.
All right. So the second wolf on the left will do very similar to what the other one did. However, because he wasn't put off target, he kind of runs at a little bit more of an angle towards you. However, he kind of begins to skirt the flame wall a little bit and even tries to test it slightly, but doesn't go near enough to actually touch it at all.
How close is he?
Probably about 5 feet or so away from it.
Okay, he takes 2d4 damage.
Ooh, nice.
I'll give it to you now, so I don't have to keep calling it out for you.
Hey, baby.
If a creature comes within 10 feet of it, they take 2d4 damage.
Wow, there you go.
If they're 10 feet beyond that, they take 1d4 damage. And if they should happen to attempt to pass through the fire, they will take 2d6 plus 8.
Nice. All right. In that case, why don't you roll me up the 1d4 from the other wolf as well after you're done with the 2d4 from this guy.
Okay. 4. There it is. So the 2d4 is 6 points.
Nice.
And the 1d4 is 2.
All right. Yeah, this wolf now skirts around and he comes just a little bit too close in the aura of the fire. You see that you can actually see that a little bit of smoke, almost as if almost like evaporating water, rises up off him as he kind of takes a little bit of a step back. And then he hunkers down, hackles raised, clawing at the dirt, just itching to get at you. Galen.
I was trying to find. I can't find it in the damn paper. I have a thing called Fateful Footing. It says gain a +10 bonus to base speed and a +2 bonus to dex. In addition, you can make a single opponent extremely clumsy. Opponent is reduces speed rating by 10 feet and gets a -2 penalty to dex.
Nice.
I'm assuming it's a standard. I'm not sure.
What's it called?
Fateful Footing. It's part of the Luckbringer thing, and for the life of me, I can't find it in this damn paper.
Let's see. Luckbringer.
Oh, here it is, because I'm an idiot. It's an EX, so it's not a supernatural ability.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what EX is.
Let's see. It's part of improbable. So, gains an additional improbability.
Free action.
Spend a moment of chance. So it happens when you spend a moment of chance.
No, that's okay, because what I want to do is this. I want to do that, so I'll spend the moment of chance, and then I want to hit it with hazard, and the hazard is that the wind blows, and the fire licks the wolf, who's kind of, if it's the one that John went after, that's close to the fire, and the flame licks over and gets it, because that's a 3d6. And that's I can only spend 1 moment of chance per turn, right? Fuck.
Yeah.
Damn it. I guess I can't do that then. Shit.
Well, you could still do the hazard.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. And that supernatural, it's a free action. So, all right. So I do that. So I spend the moment. So that's 3d6. It gets the DC for that is 16, I think. So it has to make a dex save, reflex save.
All right. Let's see here. And what's the DC?
16.
16 beats it by 3.
Alright,
Still
asshole.
takes half though.
Still takes half. I did not take D6s out. That was the only die type I didn't take out.
Damn it!
Because I'm dumb.
You
All
said
right.
it.
I did. That's 11, so 5
Hey,
damage.
not bad. Yeah, 5 damage.
And then I will shoot him with my crossbow.
All right. And like I've said before, actually, I'll give it for you too, just so you can, you see that when the flame licks over, when it hits, it gives kind of a little bit extra twinge, and you actually do see the similar vapors rise up from this wolf when the flame licks through.
Nice.
And yeah, go ahead and smack it with your crossbow.
All right, so 24.
Totally hits.
All right, and that is a D6. So that's going to be 6. Nice.
Nice. Look at that max damage.
Galen is effective.
The wolf caught off guard by the wind blowing and the licking flame. You find a nice vulnerability in it as it kind of turns it away from it. You just slam, and you can see now that this thing is definitely worse for the wear. It has felt every single little arrow and lick of flame and bolt that's found purchase on it.
Now, we were shooting at not the big one, right?
Right.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
I think that's it. That's a standard. That's my free movement, I guess, would be to reach down and grab the crossbow.
Sounds good. All right. In that case, now up is the big guy, the big wolf in the middle, and you see that he kind of gives now. He's standing. Once that wall went up, he kind of pulled himself back slightly, and he gives a growl, a low, menacing growl that just echoes a little bit and reverberates through everything. And you see that the two wolves now, one of them, the one that you guys have been shooting at, is very hesitant at first, but then there is a flash of the big wolf's eyes, and it then hunkers down and again starts to growl, and both it and the other wolf jump through the flames.
Okay, then.
Galen just was like, oh, shit!
All right, so that is 16 points of fire damage for the first one,
Nice.
and 18 points for the second one.
Not bad. All right. So the first one, once that flame, it basically hits the flame and comes out, just collapsed onto the ground. It like jumps, hits the wall, and just collapses in midair and hits the ground. Sorry, I missed. How much damage for the second one? Did you say 18?
18.
18. All right. All right. So this thing jumps through, and it is now, you see its fur singed, just smoke evaporating off of this thing's entire body. And it even looks like it has a couple of like darker patches where its fur has just completely burned away at this point. But it still now is just down and is in preparation of just claws in ground and about to grab right towards you guys. Leo.
All right. The one that, like the first one that jumped through that just dropped to the ground, that was the one that I was shooting at first round.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So he's out. How far away is the other one from me?
At this point, what was your ring only? Was your ring like 20 feet, Dave?
Yeah.
20-foot radius?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like 15 feet away from you right now.
All right. Cool. Then I'm gonna just launch a fury of arrows at it.
Sounds good.
So first one's gonna be for 21.
Yep.
All right. And second one's gonna be for 19.
Yep.
All right. And third one is going to be for a 9. I'm guessing no.
No. Man, you really
And
don't. Oh, that's right. You get 4.
yeah, I get 4, but they all get like -2 to
Mhm.
the attack rolls. And the next one is going to be 20, 22.
Oh God, yeah.
Okay, so 11, 13 plus 3 is so 16 total damage.
Very nice. So yeah, basically it jumps through the fire and you let off kind of a nice little and unfortunately as it kind of moves through, Dorian's in your way in one of them, so you have to kind of pull the shot slightly and that one misses, but your other 3 manages ding 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 as this thing moves on through.
Awesome. All right.
Right.
And now
I'm sorry, did you say 16 damage?
16.
16, yeah. All right, go ahead, sorry.
Now, do I still have eyes on the biggest one? Because that one didn't jump through the wall, did it?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So yeah, like as I'm firing at that one, I still want to kind of keep an eye on the big one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good deal. And yeah, now that's about it for me.
All right. Very cool. Then in that case, it's going to be Dorian.
Where's the big one right now?
It's still directly in front of you. It's about 20 feet off from the fire, so probably about 40 or so feet away from you guys.
All right. What Dorian is going to do is he's going to stand up, and he's going to point at the large wolf, and you will see a small red orb appear at the end of his finger, and in an instant you'll see it go streaking off right beneath where the wolf is, and there will be a massive 20-foot radial explosion of fire right underneath him. DC 17 reflex save for half damage.
All right. Oh, well, yeah, I crit failed.
Oh, score.
He's dead.
So that's like double damage, right?
No.
I wish. So yeah, that is 32 points of fire damage.
32?
Uh-huh.
Jesus. All right. Wow. All right. Not bad at all. So yeah, there's this massive explosion of fire that occurs from underneath this thing, sending it, flying just barely up off the ground, maybe a foot and a half or so, and it actually lands kind of on its haunches and manages to, roll over on its back and get up, and you can now see that this thing is. It definitely felt the effects. And actually now that you guys have the light all around of the fire, you can see that the fur on this thing is its pelt is just pristinely white, almost glowing, so like it reflects light. And despite this explosion, its fur is still very white, though it doesn't hold the same reflective feature to it, as you just see all of this vapor just emanating off of it, and even the glint in its eye is slightly lessened by this attack. All right, anything else for you?
Nope, that'll be it.
All right, Marmalek.
I see this new friend coming into play, and kind of think for just a split second. I say, "All right," and I point the actual staff at him this time, not just holding it out at him. And from the gem in the top of it, a burst of or a scorching ray comes flying out, and that will be a pardon. Let's go. There it is. Oh shit. Let's see. Oh shit. I'm level. Okay, so 2 rays. No, 1 ray. I'm sorry. 46, and it's a. There's no saving throw. No saving throw.
Is it an attack?
I guess it doesn't say touch attack.
Instantaneous saving throw.
Standard action, close.
Nope, each
one
ray
and-
requires a ranged touch attack.
Ah, okay. All right. And oh shit. I crit.
Nice. So that's double damage then.
That's okay. So then that would be 46, so that's 24, 48 fire damage.
All right, I'll let you go ahead and take this one. You deserved it. You earned it.
Well then. So
Let me just tell you, it was it's well over any type of hit points that this thing would have had left.
Okay, that's good to know then. So Marm kind of looks at it and sees it still coming, and just tilts the staff down. And as he does, there's a brief glow in the gem, and this burst of flame just fires out of it, and it kind of gets bigger and bigger and wider, and hits this wolf. And when it dissipates, there is nothing left except for 4 paws on the ground, kind of in a running pattern, with charred bits smoking at the end.
Nice. I like it. All right. If you are done, in that case, it's going to be Galen.
Yes.
All right, I have another question. Under nothing is written, it's an EX. It doesn't. I don't see in the description where you have to spend a moment of chance. Under the description itself, it says a Luckbringer exudes luck and confidence. For 1 round after activating this ability as immediate action, the Luckbringer is entitled to 2 rolls instead of 1 for every attack roll, check, or saving throw. But it doesn't say anything about expending a moment of chance, because it would be under the nothing is written, because it's the beginning of a new section.
Yeah. What's the Sorry. What ability are you? What part of
Fool's luck.
Fool's luck?
Because in the description
yeah,
it says
it
if you
does.
fate spin your roll, then you can roll 2d20.
Yeah, there's nothing to it, so it looks like you just kind of say you want it to happen.
All right, so I do that.
There you go.
He's all excited because they took down those 2 wolves that jumped through the thing, and he sees the explosion under the large wolf, so he kind of hunkers down and he kind of steadies a shot, and he shoots with the crossbow at the large whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 14, so that's 23.
All right.
Does that hit?
That does hit.
Okay. Well, then I don't have to worry about it.
You do get 2 rolls. I mean, you can always roll better. You could roll a crit on your second one.
Well, that's true. Let me roll another die, because I'm dumb. I rolled a 19, which actually is a crit.
No fucking way.
I think. Oh no, it's not. Yeah, it is on a crossbow times 2.
Holy crap.
1920.
That's awesome.
See, look at you. And I rolled a 6 again, so 12 damage.
Yeah. So what do you got then? What was it? 12 you said?
12, yeah.
Holy crap. So yeah, you're able to take advantage of this thing being shot up into the air, and it's kind of laying on its back a little bit, and as it rolls over, you uh, you pick the perfect point and just fire off, so you're able to get your bolt right in between its ribs.
And it's extra damage because it's cool. So like as the camera kind of spins to look at my face, you see the bolt goes flying out of the crossbow and it flies through the top of the fire and the flame licks the bolt and you see the little sparks fly and it shoots out. It's pretty cool.
Nice. That is pretty awesome. All right. So now at this point, it's the warg's turn, and it now gets to its feet and looks at you, all of you, through the flame, and um, it kind of shifts a little bit with the bolt in its side, and you see that it kind of gets down a little bit, but then gives a nice little menacing growl, and then as it does, it kind of plants a foot, shifts its body, and begins to sprint away from you.
Smart warg.
All right, Leo. At this point, this thing is. Let's see, what's its speed? Speed. So this thing is a pretty good distance away from you at this point. We're looking at probably a good 140 or so feet.
140 feet?
Yep.
Okay. You only take a -2 for going into your second increment, right?
Yes, but you're also shooting into low light, so you're
Mm.
going to take an additional -4 for that. Still worth a shot if you want to use the arrow.
All right.
It's up to you.
Remember, the last time he suggested a player do something he couldn't, so
All right. You know
I
what?
can't believe that.
I'm
That
not
is
gonna-
fucking fool's luck.
Yeah. John is literally playing his own class
Mhm.
in real life. All right. I'm not going to waste one arrow. I'm going to waste 4.
Jesus.
And you know what? I'm just gonna try it. See how many I can hit with.
I expect this shot is actually going to be more like a longbowman.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
These aren't
like
straight
English
shots, this is
longbow,
like-
like arcing up, and just hoping to hit the general area. All right, so first one's a 20. Well, it's 26 on my end, but
Hmm.
so 26,
Then-
24, so a 19.
19 hits.
Right. So that's 7 points of damage.
Okay.
Then the next one is a 24. I'm so close to critting.
Total?
Total
Yes.
24.
hits.
That's 6 points of damage.
Wow.
The next one is going to be 12, 17, 11. That's
Oh.
totally going to miss. And then the next one is 13, which is
Miss.
also going to miss.
Yep.
So yeah, I landed 2 out of 4.
Hey, not bad at that range. You managed to let go of two, and you see all 4 of them fly, and 2 of them manage to hit the basically the shoulder and the back, and just kind of go doom,
Yeah.
as the other 2 kind of land on either side of him.
I need to get that feat.
Leo, that was you. Dorian.
That was Leo.
well, he said he's like 140 feet away.
Yeah, just about.
All right. I'm gonna do nothing then.
All right, you're just gonna be like, I protected the group.
Yeah, pretty much. I did my duty. Things died, some things didn't, and it wasn't any of us. So
There you go. Marmalek.
I'm also going to do nothing.
All right. Galen.
It's too far away. He kind of looks around. Nobody's running after it. He's like, "Well, did you get it?" To Leo. Did you hit it?
At 50%.
Well, I mean, should we track it? I mean, the pelt might be worth something. I mean, she was like all weird and everything. Like it kind of like threw the light back. I don't know. It was weird. I've never seen anything like that.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I could definitely track it.
I mean, it'll probably die, right? I mean, we shot the shit out of it.
I don't know, it's still moving pretty quick. Usually things that are going to die on their own don't move as quick.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess we probably shouldn't go traipsing through the woods in the middle of the night.
I would suggest waiting until morning. The tracks aren't going to go anywhere, especially this cold.
Yeah. Well, should we? What do you want to do with these ones? Do you think these pelts are worth anything? I mean, it's not a regular wolf, right? I mean, they're pretty big.
I'm sure they're worth something, but where are we going to sell them?
I'm thinking more along the lines of food than fur.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're gonna eat them too. I mean, duh.
And Dorian's just going to hold his hand out to the sigil on the ground and close his hand, and the wall of fire is going to dissipate.
Nice.
Hey, that was pretty cool, by the way.
Yeah, honestly, I've just never had the opportunity to use it. Seemed like the perfect time this time around.
So you could do that all the time?
Well, I mean, my strength and my abilities definitely have grown since returning to this plane. So I wasn't able to do it when I first came here, but I mean, the light does reveal more of my abilities the more time I spend here.
Well, that was pretty cool for sure.
You think that was cool? You should see some of the stuff I was able to do in Elysium.
If you keep getting powers back, maybe we will.
It's a good possibility.
Well, so what do we do now? Like, I don't feel like much going back to sleep.
Well, I mean, if you want to stand watch, feel free. I have a few more hours left before I take over.
All right, I'll hang out. I'm all amped up now. That was pretty badass.
All right, then. I'm going back to sleep, guys. Let me know if anything else happens.
Okie doke. I will go and stick another log on the fire so that doesn't happen again.
Nice. All right. So from that point, your watches go by pretty pretty calmly. The nature slowly begins to come back into the area, and then there's the slow transition into dawn. When you finally start hearing the chirping of birds and all of that start coming in. And soon enough, the sun begins to rise. Dorian prays. Marmalek reads. Everybody eats. And then do you... you had mentioned attempting to track down the warg. Are you going to do that, or are you just going to head on your merry way?
Group consensus, do you guys want to keep going, or do you want to track down this thing? I mean, if it ran off, it's probably not going to attack us again, but there's always the chance.
My goal is to try to repair the world. To me, it's not worth one warg.
All right.
I second that.
All right.
I'm guessing you had mentioned food as well. Did Leo want to take his morning field dressing the wolf?
Yeah, I figure while Dorian's praying, I'll field dress him, start cooking him.
Sounds good. Did you want to do anything with the pelt, or or is that just of no consequence to you, really?
I mean, I'm fine with not doing much with it. Can't speak for the rest of the group.
I guess we don't really have time to like cure it or do anything with it, so.
It'll just kind of start to smell.
Mhm.
Yeah, especially since we don't know when we're going to get back to a place where we could sell it or cure it or do anything with it.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's fair. Galen was just thinking because the pelt was so weird that we might be able to either turn it into something or it might have some sort of properties or something to it. If if the creature was magical or something like that.
Yeah, understandable. Who knows? Maybe the winter will freeze it and we'll come back and it'll be, still in decent shape.
All right. So in that case, you guys, pack up with what little stuff you have and begin to trek on out. Takes you the majority of the day to make it to the mountain entrance and up the switchback trail to the gate. But you still make it to the gate before sunset. And you are able to make it a decent way down into the tunnel before you have to rest. But as you ran into before, there's nothing down here. There's barely any hints of life. You get some insects and things like that, but for the most part, there's really nothing down here. So you do one more night of rest, and then eventually make your way the next morning out of the tunnels back into the valley, where you see all of your statues arranged in different positions throughout this small flower field. And making your way through that, you eventually make it to the tunnel that you took, and winding here and there through that, your valley, your little alcove opens up, and you see the 4 statues carved into the sides of the wall, these giant 40-foot tall statues. And in front of you on the other side is the dragon statue with the pool of water.
Well, may as well go through.
After you. You have the hammer.
Indeed. All right. Well, you guys should stick close then.
Right behind you.
Yep. They
All
were
right.
there.
All right, so you guys basically try to daisy chain your way through.
Yeah.
All right. So you walk through and pop out on the other side. You are now on the center pillar. You see the giant sphere hovering right next to you. Walkway that goes around it spirals down into the platform. Solid pillar mountain made of stars and space. And there's one other little thing that you end up seeing. It appears as though your entrance into the southern pillar, the southern mountain, and the center mountain have garnered some attention. And looking down below you, you see clashes here and there. Want to go ahead and roll me a handful of perception checks. Basically, each one from each of you. I don't need 5 from everybody.
16.
15.
28.
Yeah.
Yes. 17.
All right. You can now see that there are small incursion battles happening all around you on the ground. You see demons, fighting shadow monsters, fighting dragonkin, and a couple of other little things kind of catch you off guard. You see people down there. You can't quite make out too much of what's going on, except Leo. You are able to kind of hone in on the small details of this. And now, like I said, you see all sorts of types of demons fighting about. Anything from the smaller demons that you guys fought to you actually see these like larger, hulking, almost giant-like demons kind of just washing the ground. You see these shadow creatures floating in and out, attempting to possess other creatures and just ripping away at them and flocking around them. All sorts of Dragon King. You see four-legged ones, you see two-legged, you see ones with wings flying about, swooping down. And you also see the people. You see, surprisingly but not surprisingly to you, elves. You see these but the elves that you saw before that have kind of the lighter skin, the blondish, almost silver-like hair. Very similar to those, except they have almost a golden tone to them. And you also see within the mix dwarves.
Like dwarves that I've seen before on our original plane.
I don't know. You've probably come into contact with a dwarf here and there. So yeah, so there's not too much delineation from dwarf to dwarf, at least not in terms of type. So, yeah.
All right, I'll pass all that on to everybody else. Do you guys see all this fighting going on? Like, there's, I'm even seeing elves and dwarves fighting down there.
What?
I don't know how the hell they got here.
Did we break something or cause a shift somewhere with something that we've done? I mean, we must have, right?
I'm thinking. Are any of the elves or dwarves near the pillar that we're currently on?
Yeah, they're all kind of spread out a little bit, although you can see that there is a far higher collection of dwarves directly around you guys at the base of this mountain.
Shocker. Okay. All right, I say we go down and we talk to these dwarves. They're the most likely to be friendly to us, and maybe they'll be able to give us a heads up what the hell's going on here. If it is because we opened two of these things.
I'm perfectly fine with talking to dwarves. No problem here.
Except for those guys in the Shadow Realm. Remember, they were dicks. They hated your guts.
Yeah, that's because I was giving them right back to them. But I mean, that's the way dwarves are sometimes. They don't have to like me. They just have to know that I'm on their side.
Well, that's fair. You first.
All right, let's head down then.
Lead
All right.
the way.
So, go ahead, Marm.
Just gonna say lead the way, but we've run into some different types of people on all these different planes, so I'm gonna hang back and be a little more wary.
It's probably not a bad idea given the state of things, and also maybe we should keep quiet about the keys and the orbs just for the time being. If we are the ones that have caused all this, we don't want to draw any more attention than we probably already will.
All right. So in that case, the four of you begin sprinting down the ramp of the mountain?
Yeah.
All right, very nice. So the four of you, seeing all this action, begin to take action and make your way spiraling down the mountain, hopefully running into some dwarves who can sort this whole business out for you. All right. I think we'll go ahead and take it there.
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
Right on.
So yeah, screw you guys and your crits.
Yeah.
That was your fault.
And I think that I threw winter wolves at the wrong party. Every single one of them had a vulnerability to fire. So
Well,
That's
we
what I
figured-
kind of figured.
damage and a half.
Yeah, dude, when you first described them, I was like, all right, so the two on the outside are dire wolves, and the one in the middle is a winter wolf. And then you go like, all right, the two small ones on the outside are winter wolves. I'm like, the fuck is the thing in the middle then?
It was actually a mystic winter wolf.
Oh, Jesus.
Nice.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. The scorching ray that you sent out.
Yeah.
If he already hadn't been taken down to like a third of his health, even if he was at full health, that would have one-shotted him.
Jesus.
Jeez.
Because if you think you did 48 damage,
Yeah.
and then you need to take another half of that, so
Holy
you
shit,
did
Yeah.
92 damage to him.
Jesus.
Wow.
Or no, 62.
Even so.
72. 72
72
damage.
That's wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And
What?
did any of us actually take damage in that fight?
Nope.
No,
I don't
Nope.
think so.
So we all still have like a shit ton of temp hit points too.
no, those went
Well,
away
not
when you
now we
rested.
slept.
Oh, that's right. Bitches.
Well, Galen's plan was just to grab a stick out of the fire, because it's a wild animal and the
Mhm.
breath, and just kind of like poke at it and either hope to scare it away or set it on fire.
Yeah. I was so pissed that the leader didn't get close to you guys. He had a cone breath attack that did 66 cold damage.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm heartbroken that he didn't get close to us. Jeez.
Like I said,
I have 70 hit points. Jesus.
like I said, waiting for the perfect opportunity to use that wall of flame, and that was it.
That was absolutely perfect.
Yeah. Jesus.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Not bad.
That's the only bad thing about these boots. Make me like immune to cold as far as in dirt elements, but as far as cold damage, they do diddly shit.
Nah, yeah.
Oh man. Not bad. So
Yeah. Very productive.
Oh
night,
yeah,
so-
go ahead and take a level, guys.
Nice.
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 I have to remember to
Nice.
level up a Pathfinder character.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Well, it's 9th level too, so you get a feat.
Oh.
I thought we were only 7th.
Nah, we were 8.
Good, I'm not the only one. Yeah,
Oh,
no.
shit.
Fuck me.
So that means I take 2. Okay, cool.
Yeah, me too. I must have missed that message.
Right?
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Okay.
Either that or I'm okay. Am I the only one at level 8 then?
No, I was too, because you got, which I'm surprised that you guys are like still at 7, because you had this big reveal about like, oh no, you know what? That was 6 to 8. Never mind. You guys like wouldn't tell me that we leveled up for a while when you guys were all level 7. I was level 6.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So yeah, then Dave, if you gain 7, then the rest of us had to have gained 8.
no, I'm 8 currently, which means I went up to 9.
Well, we're gonna go to 9 now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
we're
I'm,
all
I'm
9.
somehow 2 behind then, or 1 behind.
Take 9.
Yeah. Eh.
Okay.
Well, before we all get out of here, I can't remember if this was in our game thread or if this was Jesse and I talking. As this campaign wraps up, he suggested possibly, because I was like, hey, what does this mean? Like, if you guys are just doing table game or whatever. And one of the things Jesse said was, potentially doing something for Legends. I don't know how you guys feel about that, and I don't know if you've thought about it anymore since, Jesse. Like, is that bad cross branding? Like, if this whole group is doing something for Legends, and people are expecting Dragon Fisters, like, I don't know. I was thinking about it today. It doesn't bother me. I don't know.
Care.
Okay. Well, because here's the reason why I ask is this. Neil posted something on Twitter about really wanting to either run or play Rogue Trader, which is something that we had talked about months and months and months ago.
Yeah.
So if we're close to wrapping up, if he's interested in running,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know what his intentions are to do, like, a full campaign like forever, or just do, something episodic, or, maybe like a mini campaign over, a couple of months or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If that's something that you guys would be interested in doing, still.
I've always wanted to play Rogue Trader, so I'd be down.
Well, that's two, because I'm in.
Only one.
Yeah, no, I'll try anything.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'd be interested. I won't be able to play. Are you talking like this style or play by post?
No, like this style. Like in lieu of this.
Yes, so like
aspect
we finish this up, and then Neil DMs us in a game of Rogue Trader.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Okay. I haven't mentioned anything to him yet because he's probably forgotten that we all had this conversation before. And I don't know what his schedule is going to be like since he's running the Fear Itself game, but I will definitely talk to him about it and see, because if we're all interested and he's willing to run, then he's got at least a couple of weeks to get something going.
Yeah. I think it sounds good.
Okay, that's cool.
Right on.
Awesome.
All right. Real quick, I just updated the calendar. So, John, I know you said you couldn't do the 23rd.
Whatever this next Monday coming up is, we're
yeah.
going to the Grand Canyon.
Oh, you are? Yeah, there you go. So I don't know if you guys want to do some point next week, or if you just want to hold off until Monday the 30th.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the calendar to take a look to see, because I have a bunch of things going on.
Brandy meet the hosts on Tuesday.
Okay, let me see. I could potentially do the 26th, I think.
That Thursday?
If you guys wanted to do Thursday, but I know that was somewhat problematic last time. I mean, I'm okay with the 30th. If it's easier just to keep Mondays so everybody's on the same schedule. It's up to you guys.
I should be able to swing whatever at this point.
All right.
Yeah, I should be fine with either.
Yeah, I don't have a conflict with anything, so it should be okay.
Sweet. All right. In that case, how do you guys feel about shoving in the 26th for next week? And then we'll do the 30th as well, so long as it works out with everybody. And I'm theorizing possibly that we'll actually be able to finish this up then, maybe even.
For the 26th, what time are you planning on starting?
Whenever.
Okay, because I work until 10:30 that night.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you won't even get home till like...
probably
11.
close to 11.
Oh, yeah. So, and then, yeah, I think we might as well just skip that then, because if you're not even...
No, I'm sorry, I lied. I was looking at the wrong person. I have Thursday off.
Oh, there we go then.
Yep. So. Actually, wait. Give me 1 sec. I gotta check something real quick.
God damn it, David.
Oh no, Kate's listening and she just reminded me of something.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm going in for screw it, I might as well tell you guys. I'm going in for a colonoscopy on the 26th.
Oh, no way.
Fun.
Yeah, but it's like at 8 o'clock in the morning, so I should be okay to play by then. I might just be a little out of it.
Hey, listen,
You should
all
be
right?
okay by then.
You'll just
Yeah.
be a pain in the ass.
I see what you did there.
Ah, they will.
Yeah. I've gone before, but the stuff that they use to put you under is like a twilight.
Mhm.
So if you're going in at 8, by like noon, 1 o'clock, you should be. I mean, they tell you you
Oh,
can't
you actually
drive.
go under for that?
They
Yeah,
gotta
well-
dope you up for it,
Really? Oh.
dude.
Yeah.
You're being violated deeper than like.
I
Yeah.
just got
It's unnatural.
It was only a local anesthetic.
Well, it's like going because I've had like a crap load of endoscopies, and it's the same thing. They put you like in a twilight,
Huh.
and then you're up, and the procedure itself takes like 5 minutes, and then you're out for a half an hour, or 40 minutes or so, and they send you on your way.
Wow.
Oh yeah, then I should be able to swing the 26th, no problem then.
Sweet.
I do have something. I won't be back until probably like 9 your time, so we're looking at the earliest would be about 9:30.
For the
The
26th?
26th, yeah.
All right. Why don't we round it out to 10?
Okay.
Only because I like even numbers.
Okay. I'll let you
It'll give
change
you-
that on.
It'll give you a little bit of time to kind of settle in and adjust and everything.
All right. And then are we going to shoot for, what did we start today, 9 o'clock on the 30th?
Yeah, I mean, if that works with everyone's work schedule, then totally.
I don't have my schedule that far ahead on hand. I will let you know though.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
I'll just put DF on my paper calendar.
Alright.
I don't have any plans for that day, so if we start at 6 I'm thinking 2 time zones, 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock is fine by me.
Yeah. Right on.
Cool.
Awesome sauce. Look at that. Not only did we get a shit ton of gaming done, but we also got a lot of scheduling done.
Hey,
Impressive day.
Yay.
Well, and this thing with Brandy may not happen. It's pissing me off because I had asked Rodney if he wanted to take it, and the motherfucker never responded. And I hate those three groups altogether. I can't stand.
oh, jeez. Are we still broadcasting?
Yes.
Oh,
Did I
well,
stop?
that's unfortunate.
I should stop.
Um,
They're not listening.
no, probably
And I
not.
hide these anyway, so.
Yeah. So they never responded, and I don't know what the fuck your deal is. So I asked Brandy because I'm like already tentatively planning something. She's like, "Oh, let me check." Okay. So I email her next day. So are we good? Oh yeah, I got my schedule. I think it's fine. Okay. I email her again. Are we good? We're moving forward. No response. I bump it again today. No response. She's 25. Her phone is glued to her fucking head. Like I can't. Like I know nobody's under any obligation, blah blah blah, whatever. But like this is business now.
Right.
Like I have to make a fucking schedule, and I need to know what you're doing because if she's not doing it, I have a hole in the schedule now that I
Right.
need to fill inside of a week.
What are you doing?
It's the meet the host thing.
Oh, okay.
So if we're gonna discount Steve and Rodney, I think it's Brandy. Tondi wanted to do the last week in June, which we already have something scheduled, which means I have to double up. But he's off from work, like he's home, so I was like, well, okay. And then I guess we'll probably shoot then to have Mick from Minions of the Monster Master for July,
There you go.
and then I guess I'll take August, and then after that we're gonna start moving into other podcasts. Like I'll grab Ross.
Nice.
I'll grab Dan from MU Podcast.
Can I'm gonna raise my hand.
Uh-huh.
Can I host co-host with Vince? I'll be his backup for your interview.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how we were going to handle that because usually we just do one person,
Yeah.
and he's essentially fucking useless. So it really should just be me. So we could do that.
I would totally like to co-host and do that.
Yeah, well, we can talk about that as we get closer.
Awesome.
I don't have a problem with that.
You better not.
And if Neil ever gets his podcast off the ground, we'd have him on. But
You should do a classic Meet the Host and host him as if he's still doing Nerdbound, and then put a sound filter over the entire thing, like it's playing over a record.
yeah, their audio is fucking horrible. I don't know how they had so many downloads.
Well, to be fair, you should listen to our stuff early on when we're recording off one conference mic in the middle of a table.
But it's all the way through. It's all 3 years. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah. Well, the only reason that we have better audio is because of Al.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say that ours is fantastic, but I mean, it's fairly solid for, as low tech as we're going.
Now, if you want to talk audio, Dave.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dave has some nice audio.
Which I saw.
Yeah.
I didn't have to be all creepy about it.
Yeah, I did.
He does.
I did.
He's never put his hand on your shoulder before, has he?
I don't know. I think we hugged up in Providence, although that was probably because of me.
That's
not the same.
Not even the same. Next Providence meetup, I'll show you what they're talking about.
Hell yeah!
Speaking of which, when's that happening?
2017. I'm assuming probably August again.
All right.
Yeah, it's an every other year.
Every year. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll definitely, as things get posted, I'll definitely keep you guys in the loop because Jesse has to attend at least one day because he's going to be on a panel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, should be interesting.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right. Well, I gotta be up in like 5 hours, so I will bid you all good evening.
Yeah, I'm 4.5.
Yeah, me too.
Nice.
Those babies wake up at 5:15, whether I like it or not.
Mine too. He's just covered with fur.
Yeah.
He's a dick.
Carrie.
Ugh, she just can't sleep.